welcome to this, the last leg of the 12-hour stream with the wonderful new DM Zelayanami or Zelda. Oh, hi! Before we go round and say hello to everyone, here are all the links. There's going to be a wall of text in the chat provided by our bot. Weird echoing. There's going to be a wall of text in the thing showing all our social links, where you can support us, all of our sponsor information, and the extra perks you can get from the panels below the screen. Thank you very much to Bird and the Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press, who sponsor our stream and make this all possible. That's it from me. Let's go round and say hello to everyone. Let's start with our DM for the evening, Zelda.
Hi, my name is Nervous and I'm Grace. I will be your DM for today, trying to tell you a wonderful story. Hopefully you like it, maybe you don't. And, well, if you don't, that's okay. I will just take that feedback and feed it right back. And I hope everyone does actually have a good time. So, yeah, thank you for inviting me and allowing me to try out DMing for the first time ever on screen in front of many people. Thank you.
Zelda, you're gonna do amazing. Take a deep breath. You're gonna be fantastic, okay? Deep breath. Next around, we have Bonishka. Oh, hi!
Oh, hi. I'm Bonishka. I'm Bonishka on Twitter. Really excited to be here playing. So excited to play with a new DM. It's one of my favorite things to do. So really happy to be here.
Fantastic. Nearly a familiar face, but you could almost mistake it for a completely different person. Next we have Julie at J Graveart.
Hello. I was here about 20 minutes ago. I am Julie. I go by J Graveart just about everywhere on social media. Do lots of art and stuff. And today I am playing a lovely bard called Diane La Montagne. We'll see how this goes.
Fantastic. And next around we have Kentucky Hawkeye. Oh, hi. Welcome back from this morning. Here from the beginning and here for the end.
Greetings. Yep. I get to be the bookends on this thing. I'm Kentucky Hawkeye. I all over the place, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram with my stuff all in the same name. And I will be playing a Aasimar Paladin by the name of Scandalon. I'm a protector Aasimar, so that's going to fit right in with my paladin background as well.
Fantastic. And you're going to be starting, thanks to Michael Wayne, with a reroll. Thank you very much for that donation, Michael. Today I'm going to be playing Kirek. Kirek is a half-orc, barbarian by trade, and I like fighting. That's about all I like. I'm gonna be famous. Get my autograph now. Without much further ado, Zelda, the stream is yours. Please take us away to your magical world.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the province of Kainan. It is a coastal province and is basically socked in by a huge mountain range on the east side. You'll be walking in up to the city of Cartholden, where you have all received a piece of mail, a letter, from the Hunters Guild. This letter reads that we need your help. We have a space that needs to be filled. One of our hunter masters is taking 2 days to report in to the higher-ups in the city of Cartholden on the strange dealings and solutions on how we can fix what's going on in the surrounding area. As the guard of Cartholden does not handle monster attacks and things of the like, we are hiring you, our best, to handle and scout out all these areas around the outskirts of the city and try and find a solution to these problems if you so please to. So, as you continue up to the city, you notice that there's a small kind of outcropping of buildings just outside the gates, and this is where you will find the Hunters Guild. The Hunters Guild, when you look at it from the outside, almost looks like one of those giant log cabin kind of things, and one that you would go inside and you'd definitely expect like a hearth and like just lots of people, almost like the inside of like one of those huge taverns that like has bearskin rugs and like Skyrim-esque style. It's just warm.
Taxidermied heads all over the walls.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You'd find probably dragons and all those fun things. If you wish to talk to anyone inside, there's a person at a desk who takes all inquiries and stuff like that. You might find one or two people around just walking or sitting around and having a drink or the like, and you could probably find the guildmaster if you so please, but I'd imagine talking to someone would get you there first. So if you'd also like to introduce your characters to a degree while you enter this area, that would be lovely.
Gondolon will boldly walk up to the person behind the desk and introduce himself and show, here is the letter that I was sent. Who must I present myself to here to engage in this fine endeavor?
Well, hello, my name is Karen Mex. I am a glorified secretary, most of all. This letter, yes, we sent it out to a group of people. Is this everyone? All five? 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Okay, that sounds about
only
right.
4 that I'm aware of. Did we leave somebody behind that I don't know of?
I believe
They didn't want to come anyway. It's fine.
they might have been held up on the road, but that's okay. Yes, if you wish to talk to Guildmaster Validia Stone, she is available. She's probably just doing some paperwork in the back, as we do that sometimes, because big hunts mean big stacks of paperwork, as I know, and so does she. If you wish to find her, I can take you to her. Just let me see your letters on, and just to clarify, everyone's okay?
Slide mine across the desk.
I haven't exactly got mine. I sort of, well, I've got bits of it. I don't really have any pockets. I'm gonna offer up a few broken pieces of parchment.
I will take that. I kind of fit like 3 pieces together and see a signature of our guildmaster. Yeah, that's her signature. You can have them back.
Oh, no.
You might need them later.
No, thank you. They don't taste very nice.
If you're,
Do you want to decay yours as perhaps a rite of passage somewhere? If we're traveling together, at least.
Well, that'd be very
Here,
kind.
Let us carry those for you.
Well, if you follow me, I will take you to the guildmaster. Validia is a busy woman, but I'm sure she has time for something like this. And he will lead you kind of in the back area. There's a few back rooms, and he'll knock on the door. Yes? What is it? We have a few people here for you. They have notes from you, personally. Let them in. And he will open the door for you 3, and you can step inside to talk to your guild master. Hello. Yes, I did send you you 4. Apparently the 5th is somewhere, I don't know, but I'm not too picky. I did overextend for letters anyway, so you 4 will be plenty. Do you understand the job that you're doing? It said a little bit in the letter that you'd be taking over for the Hunter Master for a few days while he is off duty.
I understand that you need us to patrol, but could you tell us a bit more about the problems that you are having? Particular monsters or ended problems? Things to look out for.
Absolutely. And actually, before he goes in, we can actually allow you into the city, and you can collect more information from our Hunter Master Tarek himself. But I will give you some details that I know. There's some problem with goblins in the hills. They're usually tame and they just hunt on their own, but they've been coming down into the farms and everything and taking livestock and recently people. It's getting quite out of hand, and we don't understand the behavior, and everyone here is kind of baffled at what's going on. I'm sure Tarek can tell you more.
I have a question. If I go and take out these goblins, will that make me famous?
I don't know about famous, but there is some credibility to it.
To be a first step in your story.
If that's what you want to do.
If you really
First,
want
you
to
will
be
become
famous,
a local legend, then you can spread worldwide. But you have to start locally first.
if you want to become famous, you might be looking for a bigger game than goblins. But for now, this is what we need you for.
All right. I see. Initiation rites, is it? All right. I'm in.
You can call it that if you wish.
I'm in.
Here, take this, and she gives you just a coin with the symbol of Cardholden, which you would have seen in large banners all around the walls, as well as some banners of the accepted religions in the city, being mostly the lawful good, Platinum Paladin, Pelor, all those lovely, wonderful gods that we came to know and love. And this coin will, it'll let you into the city. They won't question you. They won't search you. This is basically your one-way ticket in without having anyone give you the pat down. So, without further ado, I thank you for coming, and if you need any more help before you leave, feel free to come back.
All right. Thank you for the information.
Thank you. And you can make your way out, and if you'd like to stay for more information, if you want to try and gather anything from anyone here, you can try. If you'd like to just go straight into the city and see what's in there, you are welcome to do that as well.
I'd like to look around the hunting lodge and just kind of see what the biggest trophy they have right now up is.
You see some large ogre heads, some trolls. You see some horns and teeth of dragons, but you don't know if those were prize trophies from hunting and failing, or nimble escape, or if they actually did capture and kill a dragon.
Okay. I'll just kind of peruse around, look about it, mildly impressed. Specifically looking for maybe anything that would be corroded or something that would indicate a fight with an ooze, maybe?
You might find... I don't think you'd find anything trophy-wise as ooze or slime. It'd be something really hard to contain.
Right.
Even acidic style creatures and monsters would be a really difficult kind of trophy. And honestly, impressive-wise, they'd probably keep their biggest things in the main lodge area.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Jar it up.
Yeah.
Put a cube in a cube.
Not like a little bottle of oil labeled ooze remains. But
If I ask around,
Go ahead.
sorry, looking for
Go ahead.
like scouts in particular, kind of folks that look lighter of foot, could I ask them if there's a particular direction that the goblins have been attacking from, or if it's just kind of all over, or if they know of a specific like encampment or something like that.
To give you a little lay of the land, Cartholden is one of the largest cities in Kynan, and all of the areas that do farming and ranching and agriculture, all that kind of stuff, is to the east. And what you're finding is that the goblins are actually coming from the mountains just bordering those fields and those ranches, and coming in small groups and basically just taking anything that they can find kind of around night, between probably the evening and the morning, and then scurrying back away into the hills without trying to cause any fights, just missing people, missing livestock.
And they're taking people and livestock alive?
As far as you know, they might be killing some of the chickens or whatever if they make noise, but other than that, they're pretty much trying to make a quiet in and out.
All right.
So it seems.
I want to walk around the hall, maybe talk to some of the more grizzled veteran-looking ones in there. I want to see if they've heard anything about any creatures that might be actually spooking these goblins out of their normal hunting areas and stuff like that. See if there's any rumors about something tromping around out there.
You will find actually an older woman, and she's dressed in leathers and has a bow on her back, and she says that, well, I've been around that area, and I mean, I haven't seen anything too scary myself, other than the goblins. I mean, if they travel in packs, they can be pretty, I don't know, what's the word?
Formidable?
Yeah, yeah. I'm no wordsmith, but yeah, formidable would be a good word. They like to ambush and kind of kill you when you're not paying attention. So if you do happen to go up into those hills, be wary. And as far as creatures that would order goblins around, most larger creatures don't really care about them. Orcs, ogres, trolls. I mean, there's some larger things, beholders, I guess, that like to take packs of small, weak creatures and order them around, but that's all I can really think of right now.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you for the insight. We appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. If that's all, if you want to move into the city, you will be directed by the guards, and the first area that you'd walk into is actually right before the doors. You see that the city is actually built in a weird triangle, so that the city is square, and then the door is actually fed into a triangular area, which has ballistae on the top. So it looks like if someone tried to siege that door, it would be raining fire from all directions because of the way that it's built. If you wish to talk to guards to get through, show them your coin, I imagine, unless you want to try and get through the hard way.
Oh no.
I'll just walk up to the door and just kind of like flash the coin like it's a badge, and just kind of walk on, continue, assuming that they're going to let me through.
I stop for a second, thank you. And he just, can I see that?
Here it is.
And he just flips it, both sides, and then hands it back. Yep, you're welcome. And then he opened the door, and then there's two people up top, and they're pulling on a big hand crank, and they crank the door open just probably about 5 feet just for people to get through.
Thank you.
And the rest of you, are you also with...
Yep.
Following right behind.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Let these three also through. Thank you. And he will close the door behind you, and if you want to talk to anyone inside, the guards will give you a kind of rundown of what is going on. But what you see when you first walk in is just busy. It is it is full of people in suits of armor. You see guards and knights and blacksmith, and everything is just, people are running back and forth, even right in front of this door. There's probably about 10 to 20 feet berth before you are just like crowds of people pushing through in armor and swords, and basically everyone is armed. And it looks like just like people are almost getting ready for war. You'd almost find this strange if it wasn't that this was such a militarized city. And this area especially being basically the district where they do most of their fabrication of materials and collecting ore and doing all their work.
Looking and see, aren't we?
Looks like these goblins must be a little bit more savage, maybe than we've been, even more savage than we'd like to believe with this that's building up this much activity.
Sending only 4 of us. Should be an adventure.
Well, what do you think? Do you reckon I should go with the sword, the axe, or the hammer?
Which do you think is the most impressive?
They're all great.
Which puts on the best show?
I can flex nicest with the sword.
Classic.
Do any of them have a name?
I don't believe in naming my swords until they've been named in battle. Preferably if someone screams at me before they die. That's...
Do you name it what they scream or their name?
Usually what they scream. But only if it's, fits, not, help me. That'd be, well, actually, that could be an interesting, name. No, something terrible, like, not the Bone Crusher. That would be the sort of thing I'd go for.
So please spare me would not be a name that you would be putting on any of your weapons then.
No, I suppose you could change it, though. The maybe the Sparing or something, I don't know.
Mercy?
Mercy? What kind of combat name is that? No, I'll let someone else name it. I'm sure you guys are much better at naming things. I'll just hit things. I've got the great axe out. Balance it on my shoulder. Let's go.
Looking good.
All right, let us go find this Huntmaster.
So if you are looking around and you want to collect information, there is also, you'd find bars and taverns down in the Iron District, probably just some really quick ones, something that people could get lunch at or a quick bite to eat before they go back to work. But there is guards, basically the Crown's Guard for this area they're posted everywhere. There's basically no one is unemployed. Everyone has a job.
Are there any rural type folks, so like any of the farmers that may have been affected by the attacks, or people selling livestock or other goods in kind of a market area?
You might find a few sellers, but most of the time, because the city is so close, and basically these farmers and ranchers are hired by the city to collect everything that they sow and bring it in, and it is distributed by the heads to everyone, basically in fair ration kind of deal.
Okay. So it's less like hawking wares and more,
it's all subsidied by whatever head is taking control currently.
I figure we'll head that direction anyway. We could ask them on the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't have any other stops along the way. I'd probably go straight to our source.
Yeah.
So if you're looking, So if you're looking for the Huntmaster, you'd have to pass through the Iron District and into the Steel District, where there will be houses and basically any living spaces for most of the guard and people down that are working in the Iron District. So it would be pretty quiet currently, just because we have so many people working in the Iron District and so many jobs going on during the day. that if you pass through those gates from the Iron to the Steel District, it's so much calmer, so much quieter.
This is nice. I strum a little. I didn't describe it before, but she has a shield that, like the outer side is a shield, but the inner side almost has like an acoustic attachment to it that's like a harp. I'll play a few.
Ooh.
That's
I'll
awesome.
harvest as well. I have my lyre with me in my backpack.
Good name.
Camping out, we can concert together, perhaps.
So would we be a band of hunters then?
I believe that would be the right term.
I'd cut his ears off if I were you, Scandalin. That's what I do to liars.
Not that kind of lyre. Kind of a small harp.
Oh, a harper?
Mm-hmm.
From the guild?
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. When I roll my eyes and we keep on walking.
Guess they must have important friends.
So, finding someone like the Hunt Master is probably not a difficult thing to do, as his standing in the guild brings him higher standing in the city. He is one of the few people among the nobles and other heads that has their own house. It is not just a bunk in basically a shared hostel kind of area. And asking basically anyone on the street, they'll tell you exactly where you can find his house. Because it's not that it's impressive, but being that it is a house and not just a bunk is in itself pretty impressive for this city.
Well, there's-
Arriving... Pardon?
Flex that status.
It's something given when you hit some certain standing, I'd imagine. If you knock on the door, you currently have no reply. There's lights, there's no lights, and being that it's the daytime, you might think that he's out.
Are there any ground level windows?
Yes, there's some shutters that you can look through. You might not
Okay,
be
I
able to
go
see.
over to one of them just to see if I can see anybody inside.
You don't see anyone. There's no candles or lights lit. And it's quiet, besides the people outside.
Can I look around in front of the door and see if people have been in and out recently?
Yes, you can. There is a little bit of dirt track on the stairs that lead up to the door. It's not dry, so you might have assumed that he ran out or is just taking a quick stroll to go get something, maybe. It seems that he's just left.
Okay. And can I use like my ranger tracking abilities to kind of see if I can tell which way he went?
Absolutely, you can. Would you like to make a perception or a investigation check for me?
Sure. I'm gonna do perception.
Ooh, a 19. On a 19, you can definitely see that the mud track's off. And actually not far, maybe 30 to 45 feet away, you see a man with grizzled beard and short, cropped, sandy blonde hair, and like these very, very light blue eyes with a long bow strapped across his back. And he's actually walking in your direction.
Okay. I'll just kind of give him a nod to kind of show him that we're here. We'd like to get his attention, but I won't wave or say anything.
I'll wave.
He sees that there's a few
The
people
bard
in front of
waves.
his house.
I will do a quick short bow to his to greet him and show respect for his authority. Kind of a head
yes.
bob and kind of bend it, move the waist a little bit, just to show respect.
Correct. There's nothing respectful.
Aye, so you're the recruits that are coming in to take my place for the next few days. Aye?
Indeed we are.
That is what we've been told.
You seem famous.
Not famous, but my family has been long-standing in this city. It's been,
My family.
if you wish to ask, we are the Fletchers. We spend most of our time making bows and out of precarious woods, if you wish to know.
No, I'm
Many
no good at
famous
that.
bows.
No. Personal inquiry. It's fine. Thank you.
I see. Well, if you are the ones that are taking over, I must invite you inside, correct? And he will pull a key out from his side bag and open up the door. Well, it's kind of cold. It hasn't been lived in for very long. Let me light some candles and start this hearth, and we can have a chat. And he will do just that. You can sit down wherever you like.
Cool.
I'll stand.
I want a plush chair. If there is one.
He has
I
like
will
right
look to see
walking.
if there's. I'll look to see if there's a table somewhere, and I will sit there, presuming that that's where he would be to give us the information.
When you walk in, there's like one room where you basically like take off your shoes, and then as soon as you walk out, there is a basically living area where there's a table and some chairs sitting around it.
Go and stand by the hearth, leaning against it, as I imagine heroes do.
It's quite strange, as he is also crouching down, starting to light the hearth.
I watch him without feeling awkward.
Can't wait to get warm, huh, friend?
I don't know how to respond to that. Stare.
Well, you're the ones taking over. I'm sure Lydia sent you to get information from me.
Yes, whatever you could tell us about these goblin attacks, their numbers, the types of people, the numbers that they're taking. Seem to be taking them alive. Do you know what's for?
I still haven't figured out what for. I've narrowed down kind of where the entrance to their den is, but there's too many for me to handle alone. The people being taken alive is extremely strange. I've never seen it happen. And it's only started happening in the last week, maybe.
I think they could have been ordered by something, influenced by something.
It's absolutely possible. The goblins don't usually do things like that on their own. Usually they try and keep their nose out of things unless they're being threatened or unless they're forced to do something. We've had pretty well knowledge of them being around the area for a good year and a half, but they usually kept to themselves, so we found no need to go in and try and flush them out. I've just been doing my duty to scout around and make sure nothing strange is happening. Recently, we've had some sudden crop death. We talked to the ranchers and everyone who deals in food down there, and they said that in the last 3 days, no matter how much rain they get and no matter how well the conditions, suddenly just waves of crops dying.
That is odd. From a certain point, perhaps radiating outwards, or is it scattered?
It seems to be radiating outwards. It's getting closer and closer to the city.
So they're getting bolder then.
Well,
More desperate.
the goblins for sure. The death of all the plants and stuff in the area is also new. It's about the same time that the goblins started hunting for people.
So you
There's
do
some
think they might be connected?
It's a good observation to think that they're connected in some way. Only a few days after, they started having problems with all the plants in the area dying. And
Does it look like some sort of blight or just dwindling away like it was the fall?
possibly a blight. It seems that they just turn black and fall over overnight.
And you
Almost,
This would be something from underground.
think
That
this
does
is
not sound natural.
related to the goblins somehow?
well, not exactly the goblins, but something to do with their strange behavior.
Is the area where the crops are dying, is that close by where you believe the goblin area is, or is it
It is
farther
close.
away?
It seems to be almost radiating from that kind of mountain range area. We fear that if it lasts too much longer, then we'll start having to outsource for food. And usually, Cartholden has been more of a self-sustained city.
Expensive.
It would be expensive.
So, do you want to be a mage or a fighter? I can show you how to be a shield.
Well, we can probably handle some goblins. What do y'all think?
Question
I
is, a
think we should be
few.
able to.
A few, certainly, but do you expect us to storm the castle, so to speak? I think that may be more than 4 people. But just keep an eye on it.
If you keep an eye on it, that would be sufficient. But if they start coming down, you might be able to find out where exactly they're coming from. If we can find a way to get in there and even scout to see how many or what's going on, it would be extremely beneficial. And usually doing this on my own, it's not exactly a smart thing to go into a goblin den.
Mhm.
Goblins are very apt at putting a knife in your back when you're not looking.
May I briefly interrupt with a bunch of thank yous to the chat? We've got a reroll for Julie and Benishka from Michael Wayne. We've got a gifted sub to Zelda herself from Michael Wayne as well. So if you'd like to have a reroll, Zelda, you can have that for this session. Wild Engineer also donates a reroll for me and Zelda. So now everyone has a reroll. And then just a couple of minutes ago, Michael donated another subscription to Rune Sale from the previous. Was it the previous game or the one before? One of the games. I'm on like hour 10 here. I don't know anymore.
Someone today.
Thank you.
Someone
Sorry.
somewhere.
Sorry, take back the narrative. You can have it.
Thank you.
And now back to our regularly scheduled game.
Muted. Oh, no, not muted.
Yes. If you can find where they're coming from, even that is a lot. And we can handle everything from there. But then again, if you have each other's backs, it's a lot easier to deal with goblins if you go kind of 3 against many or 4 against many rather than just by yourself. Their ambush tactics are dangerous, to say the least.
Yes. A cord of 4 strands is not easily broken.
So, I mean, true enough.
And you can point us in the general direction.
Yes, and there is a place for you to stay if you happen to want to leave stuff or drop off anything you don't use regularly while you are scouting this area. There's a small guild home. It's not much, but a few bunks and a place to rest your head if you need to. You can always come back and grab things. And he'll open some drawers and search for a key. You'll hear some clattering, and this is the key for the guild house. And he'll hand it to one of you. He'll hand it to Kirak, actually.
All right, thank you. Yeah, key. Yeah, the guild house. Right. Yeah. Right.
Please make sure you do not lose that.
Someone else better
I'd
take
recommend
this.
not losing it.
I don't have any pockets.
I'd like to pull out like a leather strip of leather and just kind of like string the key on it and tie it and hand it back to Kirak without saying a word.
Oh, I see.
And he ties it around his wrist.
Accessible.
That will work for now.
Well,
All right.
my advice,
Pull out like a map. Would he point out like exactly where stuff is,
Yes,
or if he has
actually,
a map?
this is a really poor map, but it'll give you a better indication of what is going on. So here is the city that you're in.
Uh-huh.
Here's the guild house. These are all your fields, and this is the mountain range that you'll be taking a look at.
And is there like a route that he typically follows?
He normally will go around and just talk to all the ranchers and then do a kind of the rounds around the mostly the area that borders the mountains, because going back and around to the guild house seems kind of repetitive and pointless. But yes, he will mostly just be scouting and making sure that he doesn't see anything out of the ordinary. So, my advice is just collect information from the ranchers, and if you see goblins, possibly follow them if you can. If you can kill them, the better, but I mean, having that lead to take you back to where they're going is even more important right now.
Do you wish for us to take any alive to try to get information from them?
If you would find it beneficial, you can do so. Now, it is coming to the afternoon. If you wish to make your way, it'll take you a few hours to make it to the guild house.
Oh, is there any particular time of day when the goblins have been making their raids, or has it been randomly all over the place?
Usually in the evenings and the mornings before the sun sets.
As I suspected.
It's the hardest to find them. There have been raids at night in larger groups. They can be pretty quiet, but usually it's harder to take people that way. So, if you wish to do anything, the city is yours. Of course, everything is available to you, whether you need smithy or drink. And if you wish to go straight to the guild house, that would be acceptable as well. You can collect some information from the ranchers before the sun sets and do probably one round the area before you can pack up for the night.
So, Kirak, do we need to go buy you some pockets anywhere, or are you ready to roll?
Oh no, they'll just snag on things. Nah, let's get ready to roll. I'm ready to take things out.
Let's find something to let him loose on.
Oh, before you leave,
Yes.
after you're finished, if you survive and don't get yourself killed by packs of goblins, hopefully not, cross your fingers, and he spits on his own floor and
When we survive.
When you survive.
That's a better statement.
It would be best if you'd report either back to me or Validia, and we'll get you set up with whatever reward you see fit for the duty that you did. We'll come to an agreement.
Any preference on who we tell first, or just first scene?
First scene. If you tell Validia, she'll tell me, and vice versa.
Not knowing how the protocols go with your guild, I didn't want to offend one party or the other if we went to the wrong one first.
Well, I wouldn't go telling anyone in the guild, but the guild master and myself are both concerned in this ordeal, so we are both equal standing on this subject.
Okay, good. Well, shall we go to the guild house?
Yeah, I'm ready. I want to get out there. It's going to remind me of the sort of place I used to stay with in my clan back in the day.
I wasn't aware clans had houses.
No, but the mountains.
As you're walking through the Iron District, I would like all of you to make a quick perception check for me.
Is Roll20 working again?
Ooh. I'm back to my days of college dice rolling here. I'm too busy trying to make sure Kirok's
I have 2
staying in
perception
focus.
checks.
Sorry, there we go.
14 and
Quite perceptive
9.
despite my -1.
So, Kirak, you actually spot something out of the ordinary for this district. The Iron District bustling and moving and clanking, and it's in all its loud glory. On your right, on the street, you find almost like in between where 2 buildings would be, there's a door. It's just a door. It almost looks like someone squashed a house in an alleyway.
Kirak isn't the brightest. Is there anything indicating to him that he should act on this door? He's
There's
noticed
a sign above
yeah.
that said Merlin's Marvelous Goods.
Do any of you know Mervin's marvelous thingy?
You know, I've heard that name before.
Which one? What do you mean all of
All
them?
of them together.
Oh, right.
It is a mouthful.
That's what they said.
Do you need anything of the magical sorts? Perhaps potions?
I mean, it can never hurt to have some healing, right? But, I don't need anything as such. If we're looking at the hierarchy, yeah, I know hierarchy. I've got keys all the way up to the top.
I see. It's a good word.
Is anyone else in need of any supplies, enchanted or otherwise?
If I'm all right.
The door opens with a creak, and you can't see inside. It's just a dark space.
I'm not the only one seeing that, am I?
Seeing what?
The door open, and there's no one on the inside. Nothing on the inside, come to that.
That is curious.
Of the types of doors that could potentially trap us somewhere, that seems kind of suspicious. And make us not be able to do our jobs. But the name is... Are you curious enough?
Well, an ambush is only an ambush when there's a bush about, and I don't see a bush, so I'm gonna go and spring it.
Runs in, great sword out.
And I shake my head like this and try to follow him
Do
to
we
save
see?
us from the calamity that's about to occur, or that I foresee about to occur.
You see them running through this door, and as soon as they go into the door, the darkness just like goes like it almost like it's a wall. And as soon as they walk in, it's like they're gone.
I'll kind of look at Deanne, just shrug my shoulders and walk in.
All right.
You walk into this building, which is much larger on the inside and not dark at all, with rows and
Bigger on
rows
the
of
inside.
shelves. Pardon?
Bigger on the inside, you say?
Much bigger on the inside, but no less empty. There's many, many shelves with nothing on them. And you hear a man come from behind the desk. Hey, I'll be out in a second, thank you. And you'll hear banging and clattering, and it sounds like pots and pans dropping. And he like slides out the door like socks on new floors. And how can I help you?
Straight away, Kirak's like,
What's your game then? What's all this about? What are you hiding? What's going on here?
and like brandishing his sword.
Oh dear.
I walk up, put a hand on Kirek's shoulder, try to pull him back a little bit. I'm sorry, sir. He was curious about the look of your fine establishment.
It is wonderful, isn't it?
You may put your weapon away, Kirek. I don't think we need it in here.
Oh yes, please, weapons away. Not that you can break anything, but it is always...
You'll be more famous putting it away than using it in here.
I don't see much to break. Is that on purpose?
Oh, there is many, many things in here, but only I can get them.
Ah.
So if you're looking for anything, just tell me. Oh, I've got the perfect thing. And he all of a sudden runs behind his desk and rips open the top of a giant chest. And he is ripping things out of it, just like anything you can think of. Children's toys, blankets, magic items, just dropping them on the floor. And he pulls something out, and it is a lantern. And he says, "This is exactly what I need." And then he puts it onto the desk. And he goes, "Well, how do you like it?"
Looks like it's a finely crafted lantern, sir.
Oh, isn't it? And he flips the lid up and down really fast, and it's flashing you with light.
Very effective. I see. Does it require fuel like an ordinary lantern?
Oh yes, it will. But the cool thing is, if you take a look around, when he flips the light up, you can see there's things on the shelves.
Ah.
Down, and there's nothing.
That is a neat trick.
Ah, see?
So,
Very effective, good sir.
so it sees through illusions?
You can say that. It sees through many things. But, you know what? I will give this to you free of charge. Wait, borrowing. We're doing borrowing now.
So
right?
you're lending it to
Borrowing,
us.
right? You hear no reply. Yes, we're doing borrowing. We're doing the borrowing system. Here, you can borrow this. And when you see me next, you give it back. You see? That sounds like a fair deal, right?
I believe so.
Fair enough.
Tell me, sir, is everything borrowing?
Some things are borrowing, some things are buying, some things are taking. I mean, everything's taking if you really want it.
I've got a question about this lantern. Can it stop us being Ernal? Because it's got Ern in the name, and I know the bloke told us that the goblins only come out at night, which means they're not Ernal. So I want to stop being Ernal so I can chase the goblins.
Can you not see at night? Or do you want to just be awake at night when all of this happens?
I can see at night just fine, yeah.
Well, I can't, so this sort of device would be quite helpful.
I mean, I don't know about being not Ernal, but you can now see things that are not bright, things that are dark, the non-bright things.
That could be effective, if not essential, for what we are attempting to do.
Perhaps?
Kirak, if you want to be nocturnal, just eat breakfast at dinner time.
Won't I be hungry by then?
Yes. Eat 2 breakfasts. It's what we did in our army days.
Better yet, breakfast at every meal.
Everything's breakfast when it's the same thing.
And drink tea at every hour. And he drinks something, and it spews green, like green gas out from it, and he just drinks it all. He puts it down.
It'll be this way, Kirak. Eat breakfast as your last meal, and eat dinner as your first meal. And that way, everything will be set so that you can be not turtle.
Right.
We'll work on it with you.
We'll work on this.
I've totally got it. Narrator, he doesn't got it.
Oh boy. Well,
Do you have items like potions for sale, like healing or anything like that, good sir?
I may have such a thing. And he goes into his chest, and he's digging things out, and he sees a hat, and he puts it on, and suddenly he disappears. And then you see things still flying from the chest, but you assume he's still throwing things out, but just invisibly. You see him knock his hat off. He just slaps it, and you see it fly across the room, and then he keeps digging through. Is this what you're looking for? And he holds up 1 red potion and 1 green potion.
This will help us recover from our wounds.
I think so.
can I see those? I'm not going to take them, but I just want to perhaps inspect them.
He holds them up. He's probably only about 4.5 feet tall. He holds them up.
I'm barely 5 feet tall, so this works. Like this at eye level. Could I try like an Arcana check or something like that to
Oh, absolutely.
what
Please
sort
roll
of
for me.
potions these are? Like, I'm pretty sure the red one is what I think it is. However, no.
Okay.
Here, let me
So
take a
can-
closer look at that.
We
So,
do
first
all
of
have
all-
re-rolls, may I remind you.
I do
DM,
remember that later.
due to everything around you that you can't see, this whole room, it has so much magical like electricity that it is just blocking any kind of magical sensors that you have for this potion. You're like, I think it's good, but I really can't quite tell. And this green one, who knows what it is? It might not even be magical.
What they taste like. I feel like this is important when buying potions.
Just add a little sugar on top. Sugar to your healing potions.
Extra cherry.
And Scandalon, you come up with a similar kind of thing. You're just getting so much like interference from everything pinging around you that you can't even see. You don't know if it's just
Overstimulation from everything else.
more or less. You're just everything is blinking at you in your mind, and you can't quite tell what these things are. Well, did I look to your liking?
I don't think they'll hurt.
How much for the?
He shakes them. 20 a piece. Wait, 25. No, I trust you, 20. And he holds them.
I don't actually know how much money we started out with.
I will say that you have enough for both of the potions if you wish to spend between two people.
Yeah,
and
I'll help pool my money so we can get them both.
So you now have a healing potion and a mysterious green liquid. When you turn it in its glass, it's almost like slime, where it doesn't turn, or honey. Honey would be another good one, where it's just, it moves slowly.
You could test it out there.
It might be poison. It might be a healing something. Well.
Right. What was I going to ask? I had something in mind. It's gone. But
meanwhile, I wander over towards Kirak to make sure he's not trying to grab a hold and accidentally break anything that we'd have to pay for.
Oh, if Kirak wants to pick anything up, he'll find that when he grabs something, it almost falls out of his hand like liquid and just lands back on the shelf. It's like almost ethereal in nature, almost like it's a projection of all the things that he has, but they're not actually there.
If I use the lantern and just kind of like scan around as if I'm window shopping, does anything like seem really, I don't know, out of place? Like it shouldn't be on a shelf.
Oh, everything here looks like basically the things he was throwing out. There's blankets and children's toys. There's broken swords. There's just anything that he's collected. This chest is basically a larger bag of holding. It is a chest of holding.
Nice.
It holds an enormous amount of things. And it's just like you might get pinging here and there of like, that looks like it could be a thing. And it'll be like, just like a jewel or something.
Kind of like on the old Tennessee Tuxedo cartoons. It's Phineas J. Whoopi's closet that has everything in it. And he finally finds the three-dimensional blackboard.
It's the legendary junk drawer, except it's a shop.
Well, it was very, very pleasant having all of you. And if I could see you again, that would be amazing. If you live... Oh, you're going somewhere dangerous, aren't you? Oh, no matter.
Nowhere's really dangerous, just different levels of excitement.
We stay positive here.
This one is actually dangerous, so you should really look out.
No, we are.
It's going to be really exciting. Really exciting.
I appreciate your concern, little person, but don't you worry your head.
We will be cautious.
I never worry my head. Where is it? Where's my head?
I believe it is attached to you. Above your shoulders.
Oh, you're right. Well, it was very nice meeting you. And he snaps his fingers, and suddenly it feels like the room is extending and you're moving closer to the door, and he's just waving at you, and you're moving farther and farther away from him. You have the lantern in hand and your potion, and he's waving and smiling. His eyes cross every once in a while.
Good day, good sir.
I kind of just nod in appreciation and go, "That's a neat trick."
And as you fall out of the door, not fall, but are outside of the door closes and wraps up like a lampshade and disappears. There's no more shop.
Well, a fun start to the afternoon.
I wonder if we should expect more of this bizarre magic around here.
I wouldn't worry too much. I don't think he'd last 2 minutes in the arena.
I don't know. He may have even more tricks up his sleeve.
That's the thing about magic users, though. You just gotta hit them. Real quick. Hard. Lots.
You could certainly try.
Yeah. They're tricksy, them magic users. You just gotta bash them about real quick.
So we have heard.
Like,
Feel
okay.
like that method works on anyone.
I look around to see if we offended any magic users walking
In
by
the
us, or if
party.
Nope. You see no one who looks anything like this person. In fact, most of the people you see, like, he was an aging guy who doesn't introduce himself, and he just walks in, yells, and kicks you out the door. And, like, probably in his 70s. And the people you see around you are in their probably mid-20s to mid-30s and all suited up in armor. Nothing out of the ordinary that you'd see in this town.
I suppose we better get moving.
Is it still the same time of day?
It's the
We
exact
didn't
same
lose
time of day.
time.
It's almost like you just walked in and walked out.
Okay. Cool. Oh man.
To the mountains, then! Yay!
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. Alright, so making our way downtown.
Mm,
Walk it
That
fast.
fast.
further on.
We're mountain bound.
You make your way through the rest of the Steel District and bustle through the Iron District and push your way through. And you make it to the outside gates, and the guards let you out. And it takes you a good hour and a half if you're just walking to get to the guild house. And if you'd like to drop anything off or leave anything heavy that you might not need, you are welcome to. Your key and that space is a small rest space for you.
I think I will leave most of my packs and stuff. Aside from the lantern that I keep with me and my regular lantern and this new one that's much more exciting. And just out of curiosity, glance around the guild house with it.
Yeah. Just look around, get
If
familiar.
there's any wards on it, or if there's any protections, that kind of thing.
Inside the guild house is dark, and it's pretty plain. Like, you see like a wash basin and a few rolled up beds and not much else. A cabinet. You might find some dried foods in a couple rations, but other than that, it's pretty barren. It's just a place to rest your head.
Are there any trophies in this guild house?
You don't see any trophies, but you do see weapons from other, like goblin weapons and stuff like that. They're pretty chipped, pretty broken.
Okay.
So if you want chipped and broken weapons, then be my guest. But
You just might be up your range here, Kirok.
Kirak is eyeing up these rusted, broken weapons and considering whether he can add them to his maul, which is a collection of exactly that, broken weapons and heavy things. He calls it a hammer, but it's definitely just a maul.
You find like 3 rusted, probably the tips broken off daggers, a axe with a massive chip and crack through the center, but is still holding on to its handle, and a short sword that is duller than a butter knife.
I actually grab one of the daggers that has the tip broken off of it. I've got
Yep.
an idea for something later on, just in case we need.
Absolutely.
I kind of don't even look at the weapons. I just don't even think to put anything down. I just kind of like hoist my backpack a little bit harder and stand by the door waiting for everybody else.
Oh, I'm silly. Can I pull out the green potion thing and cast Identify?
Yes, you can.
But I have
And
that prepared.
I am going to. I want to say that green potion was not something that I prepared.
If you want, I've got a list of D100 potions. I can just find you a green one.
Yes, that would also be awesome. I'm looking at a quick.
Well, the first one I found, which is green, is described as light green colloid. So sort of like milk. Milk's a colloid, so sort of lime green milk. Picture that. I've lost it. There it is. Tastes like roast beef. Boosts morale / counters fear, but has a side effect that in the next hour you gain a tattoo of anything you touch.
That is wonderful. That side effect is exactly
We need
the kind
that.
of thing I need.
Yes,
We need that.
that's important.
That is an important feature to that potion. And more or less, so I don't know if Identify gives you that side effect, does it? Does it? Because is that the? I guess it's a magical property. It would probably be, or maybe you just get a warning like, be
Cursed
wary.
potion or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. And then if there's any spells affecting the item, what they are. If it was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. And yeah, that's what it's useful now.
So if you would like to send me that small tidbit, Scrap, over chat, I would greatly appreciate it.
Do you have access to Twitter?
I do.
I'll tweet it to you.
In the meantime, yes, you, Mallory, are waiting for everyone. You got your pack on, and I'm sure that there's enough daylight to walk around and talk to any of the farmers and ranchers. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to see someone from the guild walking around and taking note of what's going on. Oh, thank you.
So when it looks like everyone's kind of looked around the guild house and kind of put things down, I'll kind of wave to show them I'm going outside and step out and just kind of look around, waiting for everybody else, and hopefully they'll follow.
You see it's getting into the mid to late afternoon, but you still have plenty of time.
Yeah. After I've grabbed the dagger, I go ahead and head outside as well.
Yeah, I'll head on out, yeah. Don't want to stick around too late.
After all, we have to make you famous, don't we?
I have to get famous at all costs. It's important.
Yeah.
Kirak,
That's what I'm
did you ever
afraid.
think of joining the army?
No, that's a mug's game.
Good opportunities to get famous, though. Lots of battles to win, lots of promotions to receive.
But it takes years. Training alone takes a couple of years. I want to get famous now.
Just gotta be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. Place and time.
Do you have a goal in mind, like to be famous for something in particular? Like a good thing or a bad thing?
I do.
Or are you just seeking to be famous to be famous?
I have my reasons. I don't know if I want to discuss them with you yet.
What kind of time do we have? Is there like
Okay.
enough daylight to
Oh yeah, there's
end to it?
you probably have a good 3 hours before the sun is touching the hills, and you can use that time. It probably would take you about that time to do one good round of the east side of all of the ranches and agricultural area, and talk to a few people and gather information if you'd like.
Do they look like they've been burning anything or like destroying stuff as they've come in raiding, or is it just a very quick in and out?
It seems to be a quick in and out, like they're really just trying to grab things and go. Like in any of the situations like where you're talking to someone and they'll show you the area which they've been kind of in and out, you see tracks and in like hardened mud, and you'll see that there's definitely some cages or whatever ripped open, or knots untied or ripped or cut through, and they'll take pigs, and generally they try and stay away from cows. They're a bit harder to take with them, but
Whatever's easiest to carry.
basically.
Am I able to see how big these groups are, or whether they were in a hurry based on like the tracks and the footprints?
You can see that the footprints are placed fairly far apart, so you can see that they were probably running. And if you pick up some of the tracks and follow them, you can find that they lead off into the mountains for sure. There's no doubt about it that that's where they're coming from. If you talk to some of the farmers, they sound fairly distressed due to the crops going and obviously people being taken, mostly people that are either young or small, or people that can be just grabbed and knocked out and dragged with them. But they're getting more and more bold, like almost like they need to grab more things.
If we take a look at some of the dead crops, is there like I suppose this would be more of a druidy thing, but like, is there a feel to how they have died? If it's been like, I don't know, a necrotic thing, or if it's like a magic thing versus a, like, it's clearly not natural just from the accounts that we've had. But
would you make an Arcana check for me?
Sure.
Or a nature check if that is better for you.
Probably not. No. Not by much, but hey.
Ooh.
16. On a 16, you can definitely tell that these crops didn't just die naturally. They are wilted and black, and usually when things just die, they'll die and they'll still be a bit green or yellow. These things look like they've had the life sapped out of them, and they are like dry and wilted and grayish black.
Hey,
very
Scandalon, could you take a look at this?
Sure. I get closer, actually maybe grab one of them and one of the plants and hold it in my hands and explore it and smell it, and to look for any kind of telltale signs of the type of degradation, whether it's natural or whatever, as well. So Arcana check?
Arcana or nature?
Okay. Well, I got proficiency for Arcana, so let's go with that. And, oh, it's black.
You look at it and you go,
Eesh.
I don't think this should happen. And that's about all of the information that you get. You know it's probably not natural, but that's about as far as you get with the information.
Something's not right. I just can't place my finger on it.
I was thinking it might
Right
be,
there in your hands.
Oh, there's that. I was thinking it might be something, I don't know, desecrated, kind of divine thing.
Mm-hmm.
Goblins aren't very smart, but they have been known to follow certain religions, cults, that kind of thing. If there's something ruling them, or I don't know.
Is there a lot of these degraded plants around us right now?
I mean, it looks like a lot, but I mean, as far as like how big these fields are, it doesn't seem like it's too big right now, but it is it's almost circular or ovular, where it cuts off at a space where
is there enough that I could cast Divine Sense to see if it's an evil source as opposed to some other?
Yes, I will allow that.
I hope that they're just feeding something or collecting and not sacrificing, because that's really nasty shit.
So where's that at?
But yes, these crops are like, you can see like there's almost a spot where they've straight died, just like almost like a wall between the healthy or almost dead crops and the blackened and charred crops that are just completely wilted.
All right, so I'll cast Divine Sense. It'll go with it 60 feet. Anything 60, it'll check things out within 60 feet of me to see if
Do you
there's any
have
kind
the description? Can you throw that up on Roll20?
Yeah, hang on.
Possibly.
There we go. Or would this even work for something like what we're doing here?
You don't sense any beings, but you do sense faint necrotic aura coming from the ground where these crops are. It is light, but it almost feels like it's like sapping life from things. It is there is definitely a necrotic source taking life from the crops around this area.
Okay. I pass that information on to everybody.
That's not good.
Very bizarre. And it's coming from the ground? Not from the plants, it's coming from the ground underneath.
It's not the plants, it's themselves. It's something else is sapping from them.
Mm-hmm. So is this in like just a kind of circular area, like a huge fairy ring of necrotic area, or?
More or less, yes. And it ranges from the mountain down into the crops. Like as far as you look, you can see black patches.
Okay. They're spread out all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have we met any farmer or anyone who has seen the goblins?
If you want to ask some of the farmers, you can say that they will tell you that if you go to Ben, he's kind of on the outskirts. He has seen them. He has spotted them running into the fields and actually taking his livestock. And this was like earlier on when they first started doing it. There was only a couple. But yeah, he'll tell you, I saw them. There must have only been 3 or 4 of them. They just grabbed chickens and that's about it. I haven't seen them since, but I know they've been around. I've seen tracks. I've seen them run by. I mean, they even took my son. He's It seems that he just disappeared one night. He went out to go do the last feedings of all the animals in the barn, and suddenly he's gone. I mean, I can't even say for sure it's them. It's just he disappeared, and when you have sightings and problems like this is really all you can assume.
Mallory looks kind of uncomfortable because that's a little bit more information that she was looking for, but she'll kind of go, well, did the goblins look alive?
Yes, they definitely were moving and green and small and fast.
So they didn't look like they were falling apart at the joints with...
Not that I could see, no.
Okay. Sorry about your son.
We still hold on hope that he's alive.
Did the animals disappear as well?
I mean, they've been taken. We've seen some of the animals be taken, and we've seen some of the younger get taken.
And do you think that it could have been an inside job? How did they know how to open the gates, for example?
Oh, the ranches and stuff are not inside the city. There's no wall for the farming area. So there's the city, and then outside the city, I have that map. Somewhere in here.
This would not stop Kirak from asking that same question.
You know there's no walls blocking the goblins from our fields, right? I mean, we are near the edge of the fields. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I don't believe this was an inside job. I mean, the farmers and we're all pretty close. Most of us have felt losses, whether it's just animals or people. I don't see anyone making any gain off of our shortcomings.
Yeah,
And the crops dying, that spans multiple fields.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But then Kirak, completely separate to his voice, sort of.
He's just gonna give you a strange look, like, why?
I put my hand on his shoulder again and slowly lead him off, muttering, "This is another fine mess you've gotten us into."
Well, thank you for keeping a lookout. We will let you know if we see anything as well.
We will endeavor to do our best to help bring resolution.
And as this conversation ends, you notice that the sun is about halfway behind the hills. And if you wanted to make a perception check for me, that would be wonderful.
Is that everyone?
Yes, everyone.
Yes.
Nice.
Ooh, nice one.
12, a 21, a 14, and an 8. So, Julie, and I'd even say Mallory would get a little bit of this. You hear some rustling. The crops actually closer into the fields are moving gently and actually against the wind that's coming in from the west. And then they die down. Suddenly they move normally again.
I'm pointing this out to like you people. look there, kind of thing.
Do we,
Does it continue if we watch it for a bit?
Seems to have stopped. It does move a little bit irregularly every few moments with the wind, like something's blocking it, or...
are we seeing any of the necrotic plant changes like we saw with the other patches?
Not currently.
Kind of
That far.
motion to the rest of the group to kind of crouch down, and I'd like to sneak a little bit closer to see if maybe I can see what's going on.
Are you attempting to move through these bushes a little bit?
Yeah.
As you move in about 10 to 15 feet into these bushes, you find a goblin is looking right at you. And I'd like you all to roll initiative for me.
Here we go.
Hi, guys.
Time to get famous, Kirok.
Okay, I'm going to write these down because I don't think I have a initiative counter on here. So we have at the top of initiative Mallory with 17. 10, 15. Scan the document. So I'm going to roll quickly for these goblins, and we will be well on our way. Let's just roll. Oh, my thing changed. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted. Roll d20 plus 2. Oh,
Fast goblin.
that is a fast goblin. Oh, a couple times. I wish there was a oh, wait, is there a faster way to do this? Scott's not here. I can't ask him. I've
You're
never
doing
done
fine.
There is.
20.
It's building the tension.
I hope so. It will be lots of typing out roll d20 plus 2. Of course, I roll good for enemies, but never for myself in games.
Mm-hmm. That's the secret. That's
Actually,
how I
you
get high rolls.
Well, you got to give the enemies a fighting chance.
I rolled a single success in my last game.
One,
That is
Oh.
how tonight has been going.
That's painful.
Going better now.
Funny thing was,
I
last
mean, it
game,
worked out. It was good for the narrative.
last game
My
rolling
history
high was
protect-
good. This game rolling low is, yeah, you know, you've been reversed.
As I always warn people about my dice rolls back in my college days, before Will Wheaton was, I am. I was convinced that my Hunter's Orange dice that I got at the local game store and all that were actually cursed.
You know, I have cleansed my dice before when they've started, like, hurting me. And Talis and Jaffe did bless my dice at one time. And it worked.
I'm so jealous.
You have been at the temple of the Great Pyramid Man.
Holy pyramid. All right. So, unfortunately for you, we have 2 goblins who are just a tad faster than our fastest party member. And because you are leading, you're going to be the recipient of both attacks.
Yep.
So this will be Scrat, is there a faster way to do monster rolls than besides typing them out?
Yes,
Real quick.
Yes, there is. What I'm going to do right now, you see the character sheet tab? Go to the compendium. Anytime you want a monster, type it in. If it's in the SRD or in the player's handbook, because I have that too, it'll come up under monsters. You can drag it onto the screen, and then the character sheet will appear in the character sheet. So you should have goblins in there now.
Yes, I do have 2 things open. How is there just a button I can press for?
It works. The NPC
Cool.
character sheet works just like a regular character sheet. You should see the goblin character sheet. You just click on it, go to character sheet, and then click on what you want to click on.
Oh, okay. This top part. Hey. Okay.
Hey.
Ding ding ding
So-
ding ding.
This should. Oh, nope. That just gave. I'm just gonna hand type in things for now. Because this. Nope. That's not true. That's roll 20, not D20.
Okay.
I'm so sorry to scare you like that.
I think poor Bonnie nearly just died.
Okay. A 12,
This is the
not
quickest way to get to
26.
Tower Kappa.
So 12 does not hit my AC.
The scimitar that goblin is carrying on him bounces off your armor, whichever clothes you are wearing. And the second attack that's coming in, roll D20, not a straight 20.
What?
That is a 19.
That one hits.
Okay. So that is a. I should have made a character sheet for goblins. That is what I should have done. I believe
6.
6 damage to you.
Got it.
So this goblin draws a small short bow and fires an arrow and catches you in the shoulder. And now is your turn to retaliate.
Cool. Well, I would like to. I'm assuming because they were able to attack me, they're right up within the 5 feet of me.
Yes.
So I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
I think I can put this in. No. Yep, there we go. So when I move, it doesn't provoke an opportunity attack.
Yep.
And I'm gonna back up and while pulling out my longbow. So I'd like to attack with my longbow.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Oh, that definitely hits. The
Okay.
somewhere. There it is. What is damage?
If I'm reading it, is it the 15 there?
No, you click on the
Yeah.
word longbow there, and it'll pull. It should put the damage out for you.
Yes, that is a that's 2 rolls for.
Did it wrong. Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, there in the chat thing on there. If you click on longbow, there you go.
That's it. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Thank you.
So you roll 1d8 plus 4. You do 8 damage. Do you have a particular one you want to attack? There's
Yeah.
2 with bows and 3 with scimitars.
I'll go for the one that hit me.
Absolutely.
Doesn't get away with that. And I'll back up 30 feet.
And now it is another goblin's turn. We'll go with the one near the back who also has a bow. And he will aim at Scandalon. You and your impressive visage. Does a 16 hit your armor class?
My AC is 16, so that will hit.
All right. Pardon my typing all of everything.
That's fine. Builds the suspense.
That is 5 damage to you.
Okay.
And it is Dan's turn. You are also muted.
That would do it. I'm like frantically trying to type things into the Roll20 so that it'll roll correctly. So do I see the goblins now?
Yes, you can. There's enough commotion that you can see them rustling around in the bushes, and you can have a couple of them are actually jumping out of the line of crops.
Okay, well, I will pull out my shield and my rapier, but I will, instead of rushing into the fray, I will instead point with my sword at one of them. The one that attacked one of my friends. I'm not sure which one was closest. And cast Firebolt at it. Let's see if this will do. 8. So 17.
That is.
And it didn't roll. I don't know if that rolled damage. That's.
Firebolt
No,
isn't
It should just be
That's
That's
just
just the
dice
roll.
rolls.
quick firebolt, just like normal on a weapon, and it should roll the damage for you.
And okay, so it is 10. Well, I'm assuming 17 hits.
A 17 will hit armor class. Isn't Firebolt Dex say? Oh no, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's a ranged spell attack.
If you click on the word
17 definitely hits, and if is that damage there +6 or is that 2 attack?
Oh, nice. Okay,
Nice.
it takes
Dust
10 fire damage
this
and it
goblin.
ignites.
Yes, you dust this goblin. He was hurt before already, and he takes that big charred spot in his gut and drops. He is out.
Cool.
We have
I think we're good for now. That's what I will
think
do.
you're good.
Yeah.
We have another goblin, and then Scanladon, you will be on deck right after this.
Okay.
So we have a scimitar goblin coming at you, DM.
Okay.
Sorry, that this is all theater of the mind. We have to.
The
An
best
8,
theater.
I doubt, hits your armor class.
No.
He jumps and lunges out, but misjudges the distance and swings in front of you and totally misses. He might have an eye patch on. His depth perception is probably bad. So, Scanladon, what is your move?
All right. How far away from them are they? From us are they? Or from where I am are they?
They're in pretty close range. They're within 30 feet of you. So, if you
Okay.
whether you want to hit or
If that's
move,
the case, then I won't grab my crossbow. I'll pull out my Celtic Claymore and charge in and go after the closest one I see.
all right. You have the scimitar one that actually just went and missed DM.
Of course. I must protect the other groups in my party, and this will be the first one I'm protecting. So, all right. Snicker snack we go. I presume the 17 will hit.
17 does hit, and Kirak, you're on deck after this.
14 points of slashing damage.
He's done. You cut right through shoulder to stomach, and he drops. That's that one. There's 3 more that you can see, and you're on deck, Kirak. Unless you have anything else to do, Scanlan.
I don't have anything else to do at this time, no.
So that would make it your turn, Kirak.
I don't think these are worth a rage. I'm gonna rush in and try and bludgeon a. No, I'm not gonna bludgeon. I'm gonna try and cut up a goblin with my sword. I'd like to go and be near. Who's the smallest in our party? I'm sorry about my assuming half orc, but I'm going to assume you need help.
I'm like 5 foot, maybe.
I'm gonna rush towards the one that is attacking Deanne, assuming that Deanne needs help, and
Always welcome, darling.
sort of turn on my heel and try and
think
slam the blade down.
Didn't I just slice that one in half?
Yes, you just finished that one. There's one close by, though, probably within 10 to 15 feet.
That'll do.
Okay.
Does a 25 hit?
Absolutely, a 25 hits.
15 slashing damage.
Another one he puts his scimitar up to block you, and you break his blade, and it goes right through and hits him in the head, and he just drops.
We have a name for your weapon, Swordbreaker.
I like it.
It's a good name.
Oh,
At this point, you have...
I was just about to say you've just been killed with mercy. Swordbreaker, though, I like that.
You have one goblin sitting at the crop line with a bow, and one more with a scimitar standing not too far in front of him. And the last one with the scimitar is going to make an attack to the closest person. Probably Kirak, actually, being that he's jumped out in front of DM.
Ha ha!
I did not attack recklessly, so
Yes, it is a straight roll. Does a 17 hit your armor class?
just nicks me.
Just nicks you? Am I... Oh, sorry. I've been rolling... It's +4 to hit. Sorry, I had +6 in my head because they have a +6 stealth bonus. My bad. I will recompense afterwards and give you something.
It's
Does a
okay. Just
15
make
your armor class.
Make the usual prayers. We'll forgive you. A 15 does not.
Please.
A 15 does not.
A 15 does not hit you. He comes up to slash at you from side to side, and it just hits your armor, and it like rings he's shaking as his scimitar rings out.
I mean, I'm not wearing any armor, barbarian, so I'm probably gonna just dodge out of the way. All of my armor comes from Dex.
It hits your steel orc abs and rings and shakes in his hand.
Yeah. Bounces right off the orc pack.
Yeah. And you see, in that moment, that goblin has so much fear in its eyes as it is close to you, towering over it. So, the bow goblin is going to make a attack at you as well, Kirik.
They're
+4.
already famous, Kirak. They're going after you.
Does a 19 hit your armor class?
A 19 does.
Okay, that is a 1d6. And plus unrecognized. Oh, that's why it's unrecognized, because I typed it wrong.
That'll do it.
Aha. 7 damage to you, Kirak, and I do not believe you're raging this time.
I am not raging.
So he draws his bow back and fires at you, and you can feel it like hit right like on the edge of your stomach, right? Like it almost missed, but it definitely sunk into the side of your stomach.
Gonna give that goblin a look.
And that would make it Mallory's turn.
Mallory's going to... How many goblins are left?
There's 2 left, one with a bow and one with a scimitar.
Okay, I'm going to go after the one with the bow.
Yep.
With my longsword again. Excuse me, longbow.
Yep.
16.
A 16 hits that armor class.
Okay. For 10.
That you fire off your bow and it lands right dead center in its chest, and it falls back and its eyes roll back and it plops down on the ground.
Cool.
He is done. And you have one goblin left. And it is Deanne's turn. These two are gone. That one's gone. That one's gone. So Deanne, however you wish to proceed.
Oh. How close is the last remaining one?
He's outside the. You're basically like 3 of you are around it, and It's like grabbing its sword, and it's like looking at all of you, like it's probably scared.
Well, with my like interaction, I'll turn to scan one and just be like, "Well, do we keep it?"
We can try.
Is it the one that shot Kirak?
The one that shot Kirak is dusted.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Mallory, he's
No
gone.
grudge. Then can I try and I'll attack with my sword, but can I do it non-lethally?
I believe that is a thing you can do. I will allow it. If you go to kill it, it will be knocked out, but not dead.
Okay. I, again, did not type that into my character sheet, so we're gonna just roll the normal way. 20. Whew,
Oh, damn. Yeah,
that is
you
successful.
absolutely, you hit it.
Nice.
What
So
is damage?
That is
9. He is wobbling on his legs and looking at you. He is up, but he is looking he's looking really bad.
okay.
So
I'll just be like, if you don't attack us, we may let you go if you talk to us.
he immediately like drops onto his knees and drops his sword. And he just like cowers. He puts his head in his hands and I can't do goblin voices, but I'll talk.
See diplomacy.
Actually, can you roll me intimidation? He's gonna talk, but I want to see how nicely this works out.
Can Kirak assist?
Or perception, or not perception, persuasion.
Persuasion. I would go about it nicely. So be worse.
And 11. And Kirak, I will allow you to assist, and basically you stand behind her with arms crossed, staring down at this creature.
Towering over me, probably.
And if you roll me an intimidation. Yeah.
Crit.
This goblin looks you in the eyes once and then never does it again.
Whilst I'm like standing behind Diane, all intimidation just pouring off of Kirak. Whilst maintaining eye contact, I'm gonna pull the friend's bow out of my gut and sort of like hold it up and throw it down whilst looking at him.
I'll talk. Please, just don't kill me.
Okay. Well, we want to know a couple things. If anyone wants to pipe in, I know we want to know why you're taking people. And
The people, we take them into the cave. I've never gone all the way down, but there's people down there. Some of them are taken for something like a ritual or something. I've never been down there. I just grab them and give them to other people, other ones.
Do you know who's doing this ritual?
I don't know. There's some of our cast, like some of the ones that can cast magic are down there.
So they're other goblins, not.
Yes, there's goblins in there in the mountain.
Why are you taking all the animals?
We need them for food and for the spell, the ritual.
Well, I mean, that does kind of make sense.
Well, yes. Do you have any idea what this ritual does, other than kill all these plants?
It's supposed to bring something back. I'm not 100% sure. I've heard talk of something kind of dead, but not dead.
Oh, that's never good.
He's
Like it's my
trying
hackles
to
up
tell
right
the
away.
truth to you.
Let's see. Is there only one way into the cave?
As far as I know, there's only the one way.
Okay. I know you haven't gone to the end, but do you know how deep it goes? Is it under us now, or is it into the mountain that way?
It's in the mountain.
Take us.
For the sake of speeding up, because we are
2 hours in.
Slow.
You've still got another hour.
getting through there, and I want to get to at least the one part. So he will take you. He will lead you quietly with his head down, and lead you up through this kind of mountain pass where you see any patches of plants are just dead. They're blackened, just like those crops down in the fields. And he will lead you to a door. This door looks crumbled, but also like masoned, like it was created. And you can see off to the left of this door looks like what would have been a mason stone door. And it is thick. It is like half a foot thick of solid stone.
Ooh, thick
And it's been broken and cracked into pieces.
Yeah, have the plants been getting worse the closer we get to the cave, or is it still just sporadic as we go?
The plants, it's just basically like everything is dead. It all looks like it's had the life drained out of it. Nowhere does it look worse than others, but just anywhere where there's life, there's patches of plants are gone. They're dry and just dead. Thick door. This is the way in. It's the only way I know to get in.
Well, how do we know you're not going to warn anyone inside?
He just looks at you with a slight terror in his eye. Just,
If you want, I've got some
Good
rope,
lord.
Deanne. Could just tie him to my chest. Use him as a bit of extra armor.
You know?
I don't think a meat shield is a
Does that
good
work?
idea.
does that count as armor class in D&D? I'm not sure. I've
We
never
can tell him
had
we let him go.
Let him go, he's a goblin, he's just gonna get up to trouble.
Yeah, well, I like to be honest.
We have told him we would spare his life, so we must.
we could use your rope and tie him out here while we go in and look around, and then we come back.
That would be acceptable.
But if we tie him up, they're probably as good as dead anyway. Can you imagine being tied up in the middle of the mountains at night?
Not as much my problem anymore.
Alright.
Starts tying.
You just went from diplomat to dark. Not my problem.
I like Avery in chat saying Goblin's HP equals 10 hit points.
He is gonna be very upset about you tying him up, but he realizes that he is not in a position to fight, and it will just end up putting him
among
killed.
the rocks, and you'll look like a rock. I mean, a green rock, but you'll look like a rock. Among.
Yeah. Fine.
You'll be
Yes.
okay. Pat him on the head.
You want I should
He's
put a
just
rock
gonna-
on top of him? Like, not on him, but, you know.
Can I use some nature to kind of help hide him with some brush and stuff so he feels better?
I will. Yes, you can. You can give him a makeshift bed.
That is my
Basically.
favourite use of the word nature I've ever heard. Can I use some
Just
nature?
like pile up dead leaves around him.
Yes, out of what is there in the dead brush and what you can
Like a
create.
quick lean-to.
It is, yeah. You find a few sticks laying around that you can pile leaves over, and he's more or less hidden.
Very
So-
nice, very nice.
You walk into this this door. You walk through this door, I imagine, and inside looks like a goblin cave. It's got stalactites and stalagmites, and it's dripping and a little bit wet and cold. And you can hear from in the distance some small goblin cries. But it's dark, and they're pretty far off. As you walk through, it is a singular tunnel. And it looks like it just keeps going.
Are these cries of pain, celebration, or can we tell?
You can hear it's goblins shouting. It doesn't sound like it's pain. It's not like screaming. It could be celebration. It could just be them yelling at each other or
Okay.
the like.
How stealthy are we as a group?
Surprisingly.
Mhm.
I don't wear any armor, I'm looking at him.
Looks at the paladin.
Decent enough. I've got chainmail.
All right.
That's the door.
We're not bad.
If you'd like to be stealthy, I'd ask you to roll a stealth check for me. If you'd like to continue and move a little quicker, that would be acceptable as well. Because usually stealth is half speed, technically, but I mean, it'll
say
probably
so.
just get. Yep,
Sorry, I'd like to go stealth.
you're gonna stealth.
So
That's
if
think
nobody's
that's a good
if somebody's not stealthing, I'll just kind of turn and glare at them a little bit, and not say anything, but just like hopefully intimidate them to be a little bit more quiet.
Would you like to go ahead with your stealth, or would you like to stick with the group stealthy?
Oh. So like I glare at myself.
Of course, it's Kirak.
Kirak just needs to carry all of us as he tiptoes down this hallway.
Like Atlas.
Surprisingly, all of your footsteps echo except for Kirak, and he has his like these soft fur-lined boots that make almost no sound.
Haven't any of you been on a raid before? Shush.
And I'll
They
look
look
at
like
Kirak
just
like,
leather
I know,
gloves.
right? Because I don't realize that I'm making noise too.
Shake.
You continue to walk through, and This tunnel goes on for a while. Like, you're walking like half an hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And when you come up to about an hour of walking in, I'd like you to make a perception check for me.
So,
Mm.
nice.
Oh, absolutely. This is not going to be a hard check anyway.
Am I not Ernal yet?
Have
What time
ever
did you eat
been-
breakfast?
Well, actually, I
So
should be
close to being nocturnal.
because I do not have. Or well, is it vision based?
It is both vision and sound based.
Okay. Would it still be at disadvantage, being that I don't have dark vision?
It would still be at disadvantage because the sound changed, but it's not a huge change.
Yeah, what bonus do I get for my dark vision?
Don't think we get a bonus. We just don't get a disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So without my
So
disadvantage, I can roll an 8.
So,
I also have dark vision.
Ooh.
for those that have dark vision, and for Mallory and who else rolled well? Just Mallory for this one. You notice the walls are shaping differently. Slowly, they become more and more masoned until you're walking in a hallway that isn't unlike that of inside of a building in the city. The walls are flat and flush, and the floor is dry and flat, and the echo goes from that of a cave to that of something that is more uniform, if that makes sense. Every time you take that step, it sounds the same. It's not like it's echoing differently. You're not splashing in water.
Mhm.
And just because anyone who has dark vision sees Mallory looking around at everything that's going on, and you will notice this as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is dark. It is like down here, if you don't have dark vision or something bright, it's nearly pitch black, and you'd probably be holding on to someone trying to lead you through this area.
At this point,
Yeah,
I'm
do
just
you
kind
need-
of like grabbed onto Mallory.
Do you need me to make a light for you, Dion?
I could make the light myself, but I thought we wouldn't want to bring attention to ourselves, and that is
Okay.
a bit of a giveaway. So until we need it, thank
Alright.
you though.
I have something I can do in case you need.
You continue down these halls, and you see arches. They're doorways, but there's no door in them. And inside, if you take a quick peek, it's mostly just stone beds, and it looks like it could have been lived in, but it's been long, long abandoned by anything that whatever made it, because you can tell this is definitely not goblin made, has abandoned this area.
I like to kind of stop close to Scandalin and just ask him if he's familiar with any religion or cult or anything that might have one time lived in these mountains that would have delved underground.
Would that be a history check, or can I do that under Arcana?
History.
Okay. Not that I recall.
Okay.
It has that feel, but it doesn't look like anything I've seen before, to be honest.
In one of the
My
rooms,
gut tells me that, but I don't recognize anything.
in some of the rooms you find things like broken tables and just like wood that looks like it's been rotted and started to fall apart. You see some stone bookshelves basically just set into the wall. And if you want to take a look, some of the bookshelves have books on them. They look pretty worn and possibly might not have anything left in them, basically just from age and time kind of taking their toll, just the mustiness and dampness. If you want to take a perception to try and find a book that doesn't look too destroyed from age, I would allow that.
Would my proficiency in religion help me to identify any of these books easier?
Not. No, because these books, you're just looking for a book that's not destroyed. You're looking for one that looks like it's in half decent condition that you might be able to pick words from.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, I got a good one.
Oh, yes. You look on the shelves and you're like rifling through there's a handful of these books, and you find one that has some of the pages near the center. The ink has run, but it's still mildly legible. And if any of you speak Dwarven, if you want to take a look at these books, it basically is more or less just some old forge notes or a diary, but it is definitely written in Old Dwarven.
I will show it around to everyone else. I just have Celestial, Common, and Elvish.
I will say that since it's in a book, Mallory doesn't have a ton of interest in it. She'll let Deanne.
Okay. I'll like squeak open the lantern just a little bit because I don't want to waste a spell right now. And yeah. Nothing of great interest, but do I have a gist of how old it might be?
You're looking at probably easily a couple hundred years old, maybe 200-300 years. And the books are they are musty. Like if you look in the first few pages of this book, the ink is run into an unlegible mess. But just like what I said before, it is somewhat legible. It's not something interesting, but it is an indicator that it was a Dwarven, or was it written in Dwarven. And these halls continue. You see more. The halls, as far as you know, they are slightly sloped downwards. And as you keep walking, you make your way slowly and slowly down, descending as some of these goblin cries get a little bit louder. They come closer, or you're moving closer to them, and see a faint light through a larger, almost double door sized archway. And it actually is, if you want to peek inside and give me a perception check.
Is it well lit enough for me to see in there?
Inside that room is definitely well lit.
Okay.
In that room, there is a large bonfire. There is a good dozen goblins, and you see lounging off to the sides, there's 2 ogres. They're just laying on their side, and you see that they are just cooking food and chanting and yelling and kind of dancing around and basically just celebrating that it's food time and they get to eat. There is a hall that wraps around this room. You can see a door on the other side of the room as well, shaped the exact same as this one. It gives you another path, and if you go, you won't be seen down that room, or down that hall, if you want to go and avoid this room completely.
Yeah, I don't want to touch that.
Not yet.
Gem.
I turn around to make sure that Kirek is following us and not charging towards the ogre.
Does Kirak see the ogres?
I don't know. Does he?
You're looking.
If you're looking in there, you hear chanting and goblins, but the chanting and goblins is taking most of your energy, and due to the skin tone of the grayish ogres, they pass over your visage. They're kind of sitting amongst some old rubble that's fallen from the ceiling.
Fucking hate goblins, though. Should we just kill them all? The goblins upstairs are easy.
Not
There's a lot of
yet.
them. We don't need to if our job was to look first. See everything that we're up against. Patience.
And on sword? Just casually.
Good, you're prepared.
Nice flex.
I move to behind Kirak to make sure he doesn't double back on us.
Okay.
Uses heat metal to weld his sword to his sheath.
All right, I guess making our way around.
You're gonna make your way around the side hall. Make another quick perception check for me. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you guys are killing it with these perception checks. Down this room, or down this hall, it wraps around, and you can actually look at the room from the other side, and you continue on. You notice that there is another big room off to your right. It has a big stone table that's been pushed to the one wall, and you see someone in manacles on the wall. They don't look very old. They don't look like they've been there very long. Their clothes are tattered, but not destroyed.
Is there anything else in there with them?
Not really. There's like a bucket, and it looks like there's some molding bread.
Is this person a human? Or
They are
humanoid?
humanoid. Of course, yes, they are humanoid.
So, since they're clearly some kind of prisoner, Malloy will walk in, like, hand on lips, and kind of creep up to the person and ask them, like, who are you and why are you here?
With the most parched gasp you've probably ever heard, they breathe out in this raspy voice, and they are mildly panicked because they've probably for the last few days seen nothing but goblins, or worse. And they are just asking for water.
I reach in my pack and quickly pull out a water skin and gently pour some in his throat so he can wet his mouth and not drink down too much too quickly and choke and make a lot of noise.
As their head tilts back, you notice that this is actually a woman. And she takes a few thirsty gulps from your canteen and looks at you with admiration and thank you. They were keeping, there was more of us up here, and they were taking them farther down. They're taking them alive. I mean, they're feeding us here. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know how long I've been here. And you know that if there's no light here, she still can't see you. She's just heard footsteps and your voice, Mallory.
Okay.
And some water.
So I will whisper. There are 4 of us. We're here to find out what's going on. We're going to get you out, but you have to be quiet. And I'll try and break her out of the manacles.
Absolutely. These manacles are pretty worn. They're definitely not magical. And if you wanted to lockpick or try and break them open, that would be a strength check or...
Can I use sleight of hand?
Yes.
Okay.
If you can... Do you have a tool that you can use? Like any piece of metal or...
You know what? I have a crowbar. What if instead of doing that, I'll give the crowbar to Kurak and have him do it?
Oh, well, you just want me to smash it? Well, I've got a great maul for that if you want. Oh, sorry.
Be quiet.
Oh,
We're just prying open. We just need some leverage.
all right. My mum told me not to pry.
That's certain occasions it's
Admiral,
okay.
now it is allowed.
All right. So athletics check, DM.
Yes. Can you make me a stealth check as well? Not bad. These manacles pop open. They're the ones that have just the one lock on the side, and the lock it breaks open. Like whatever tumbler system is inside snaps from the force, and it pops. I can be quiet. Do you know how to get out of here? My name is Henry. Henrietta. Henry.
If you go back out, and I kind of bring her out of the room and point her in the direction, and I'll take one hand and put that hand against the wall, so she wouldn't run into the doorway with the ogres. I'll just say, walk with your hand on this wall until you get out.
Okay. Is there anything I can use for light?
Here, I take out the dagger with the broken tip, and I cast light on it for her.
Okay.
So that way hopefully she can keep it dim, covered up enough so that she doesn't bring attention to herself, but she'll be able to see her way.
She holds the knife with the light, and she just takes her hand and she covers the tip, and it goes completely dark. Like her hand is glowing, but that's the only light that's showing, and then she lets it go.
Clever.
It may not be the best to defend yourself with, but you will at least be able to see your way. And
Thank you.
hand her one of my crossbow bolts. This isn't the best dagger in the world, but in a pinch.
Thank you so much. Please, whatever's down there, I can feel it. It's awful. And you haven't noticed it because you haven't been sitting in this area too long, but there's almost an oppressive, dark, like, pressure coming from whatever is coming down below. And her mentioning it has suddenly, you've suddenly, picked up that, oh, there is something happening. And she thanks you again and puts her hand on the wall and follows that wall with her light until you can only see the light and a bit of her silhouette, and she keeps walking.
Could I have granted her inspiration for at least the next 10 minutes going around that corner? I don't know if it'll last that long, but...
Yes, if you want to grant her inspiration, I will allow that.
All right.
Okay, the only place where we saw any of the goblins or the ogres was just here nearby, right?
It's the only place that you're hearing them currently, and the only place that you can see them right now.
Would it do me any good to cast Sanctuary on her? It only lasts for a minute.
I'd say it probably wouldn't help if you wanted to. I wouldn't stop you, and I would allow you to do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna give her the protect. It's not
Okay.
gonna protect her the way I want it to. In looking at it now, so
Okay.
I consider it, but then I decide to pass on it.
You continue to descend, and as you continue down this hallway, you see a door that is larger than any door you have seen in your entire life. It is easily 50 feet tall. It is open. Both the doors are swung open, and it is probably 25 feet across. One door, so 50 by 50. And as you walk in to this area is a massive, massive hallway.
I thought you were going to say like troll or something. Welcome, Arvan Eleron and your raiders. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for the raid. I was waiting for you to finish to be like, we're just about to fight a great big hallway.
Nope, you do have something. Don't worry. You go through these doors, and it's not a hall in the sense that it's long, and it's a hall like a feasting hall. Like, it is a humongous room with pillars that go up into the darkness that you can't even see the ceiling. I'm thinking like Mines of Moria when they first walk into that big. That's basically what you're walking into. And you walking into this, it's almost like sorry, my cat. It's almost like a barrier that you've walked through, and suddenly you start hearing whispering. Unintelligible other language whispering in the back of your head, and it seems to almost like pass by you. You hear it in one ear and another, and it seems to be moving somewhere.
I don't like it.
I do. I'm itching for a fight.
Definitely gets my hackles up.
This whispering is almost wretched. The voices that you're hearing are disgusting, to say the least. It is like someone is talking through some awful like synthesizer kind of thing, and it's entirely unintelligible, and you figure it could be in a language that you know, but you still wouldn't be able to understand it. Like it's something that's going through a wall of interference.
Mallory is like desperately looking around to see if she can see any source of this. And she knows she can't, but because she's so used to being out in the wilds, she's not used to like having telepathy and things. So she's just absolutely looking around trying to find anything to explain this.
You see, as you walk through this huge hall, there's charred marks on these pillars that are like 20 by 20, and it looks like something has ravaged this area. There is broken scraps of metal and armor sitting on the ground, just old, like, and they're small, like something that a dwarf would wear. And they litter the area. There's a good 40 of them as you keep walking through this hall, and they keep popping up everywhere. They're sporadically, including broken swords that have been rusted from age.
Is it just the armor and weapons, or is there bodies as well?
No bodies. You see, the metal itself is charred and blackened.
Do I see any kind of religious or arcanic markings on the walls as we're moving closer?
You see, if you look at the back of those doors, there's 2 gigantic runes. And it was, if you know Dwarven, it loosely is a barrier from evil. It is like a long-standing, a high-level spell of blocking evil sources.
And it's open.
And it's open.
So inside this hall that is so huge, can we tell if there is like an end of it or a direction that we should be particularly moving? Because otherwise, Mallory would probably encourage everyone to kind of skirt around the outside.
You see the faintest of glowings coming from the opposite side of the room and a little bit to the right.
Okay.
And it's you can't see what it is or where it's coming from. It's just that faint glow of, oh, it's a little bit brighter over here.
I think we should look at any of this stuff with our magic lamp.
Might not be a bad idea.
Just kind of peek it open a little bit, so there's just like a small beam and very like concentrated kind of thing. Just pass over some of the scorched metal pieces, armor, that kind of stuff. Is there any like residual?
Wherever you shine it, it's like how the words pass by. You see almost like a ethereal wind, almost like a visible smoke moving in the direction to that glowing area.
Okay,
Like
so it's all like
yeah.
sucked that way, not
It's
like in
all,
a
it's
cycle.
all moving to that area. You see it like curling and moving, but in the end, it is all going in that direction.
Can I go and have a listen?
You hear voices. You hear the unintelligible voices, and you can cup your ears, like you could, like, but they're not spoken. It's all coming through your head, and you can't block them out.
If we try and like hang on to any of the like phrases or anything, well, it's not really intelligible, but can we make out anything if we like listen to them?
The more you try and listen, the more it sounds like it's clearer, but it also sounds like a whisper you can't pick up on. So focusing on it is like it's making it more intelligible, but it's still, you can't quite hear it.
Okay. So even more frustrating.
Even more frustrating.
Mildly maddening. Well, whatever it is in the corner, I don't think it's good. But we did say we would take a look.
Keep moving.
Sneaky like.
If you want to roll sneak for me, that would be lovely.
Can't just say sneak and have it be sneak.
Why don't we just jump down?
I thought
Element
we
of
were on the
surprise.
ground.
Press the attack. Kill them all.
We have to get to where they are first.
The smoke's going down there. The magic lamp. That must be where it is.
Yes, but it's more famous to surprise them instead of have them know we're coming.
Greater to get them by surprise and kill more of them with fewer swings is more heroic and definitely will bring you more fame than you could ever imagine.
All right, I'll trust you.
And we'll also probably live to tell your tale.
I like that.
I had it open and did not press the stealth. My stealth is not bad, but I'm just rolling terribly.
Kirak has been killing it with stealth.
Eric again.
It's just silent.
Man.
Magic man.
World's
Skydives
famous
down the thing,
stealth.
silently rolls into stealth.
I will say that as a
He is
group,
famous for his stealth.
you pass stealth check.
Nice.
I will make this a group roll. And
Merciful.
you're making your way to this light. You're following the. It takes you a few minutes to get to this area, but you find an archway with no doors. And when you peer inside, you see a black smoke pooling out of this room as you get closer, and almost like a purple black sickly light.
How
And-
far away is the smoke from us?
Oh, not very far. 30 feet into this room. This room isn't huge. It's a semicircle.
All right, I want to cast Divine Sense once again. That'll get with anything within 60 feet of us.
You're pinging a huge undead marker.
I'm going to inhale deeply to try and figure out what's going on.
When you inhale, it smells and feels like you're taking ash into your nose.
Excuse me.
I do silently.
I hand him a handkerchief here, silently.
Yes.
And all of that smoke that's you have seen pouring into this room is swirling around this humanoid. And you can tell it's definitely a decayed. It is skeletal, and it is floating in air, not moving. And around it, you have 2 goblin shamans, as you can see them casting, 2 ogres, and 4 people. Those 4 people are chained to the walls on the sides, and you can see this black smoke is being pulled out of them.
Ah,
Do we start stabbing yet?
who's sneaky like? We could get drunk on them.
The ogres are not paying too much attention. They're just sitting there. It's the shamans that look like they're putting in the most work, and they're very focused in basically directing whatever that black smoke is to this humanoid, this skeletal humanoid.
Me and Scandalin can take out the ogres. You two can take out the shamans. Easy, right? Remember what I said about...
Focus on magic first. More likely that the people over there will live.
Yeah, the shamans would be who would we probably want to hit first.
Right, like I said earlier, magic users, hit them hard, hit them fast.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Alright, let's sneak over there then. Can you... I know you've all been trying really hard, but could you try a little harder with the sneaking?
I will watch and learn. I will watch and learn from our famous master.
I'm gonna stay standing in the doorway and just kind of, you go ahead.
Well, how far is it from us to them? Is it like could get there within a round, or?
The shamans are 30 feet, and the ogres are probably 15. They're standing in the way of whatever is coming through that door.
All right, are we ready to attack? Because I need to know, because I want to do something if we are.
I think so.
Okay. All right, then before we as we begin to attack, I want to cast Radiant Soul on myself.
Okay. Give me the description for that, please.
Okay, let me get it for you here.
Nice.
Nice.
Mm.
I'd also like to
Oh,
cast
very
something
nice.
like preemptively, but like as we are going into this.
Yep. I'll allow you to do this as like basically like a
Yeah.
part surprise round kind of thing.
Okay. I'd like to cast Heroism. I will cast it at level 2, so I can get... I'm gonna say Scandalon and Mallory. Well, actually, just for the hit points, that's why.
Well, I intend to stay way back here, so.
That's true. Okay, so I will do it for our 2 bruisers. So until it ends, you're immune to being frightened, and you gain temporary hit points. You get 6 per, or at the start of each of your turns.
Ooh.
So you recall
nice.
6 HP or 6 temporary HP every round. Okay.
And it's concentration for up to a minute. So,
okay.
Sneaky over to the shaman.
Nice.
I'd like to cast Hunter's Mark on one of the shaman, please.
Okay. Does that let them know that you're there at all in the description?
It doesn't say. It says you choose a creature you can see within range and mystically mark it.
Okay. Does it have verbal components? Actually, no, they're going to probably figure out.
I can also wait. I'll wait to my turn then. I'll hold up.
That's a bonus action, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So I'll wait.
I'm going to use my reroll. I've rolled well the whole time on stealth. I'm going to use my reroll. 10's just not good enough.
Sweet.
Okay.
There you go.
If you really want to stealth and you follow the wall, like you go into the room and you cling to that wall, those ogres are facing each other and their backs are to a pillar. You might be able to sneak past. I'm actually going to roll for perception on this one because they are awake and aware. Because their passive perception is 8, but they are definitely aware, and that is a 10 plus. Oh, they have a negative intelligence and negative wisdom. So you definitely pass underneath their unwatchful eyes.
Okay, do I
Right up by the shaman.
do I dare?
Stop.
Okay, do I dare stealth or do I just fly in when you start?
Up to you. In Kirak's head, when he starts hacking at the shaman, that's when you lot join the fight.
Okay,
But we
I'm
decided
good.
that way back, so if you do something different, that's up to you.
Because I've got Radiant Soul going, I feel the light that all the stuff with my eyes and my wings is going to make it harder to stealth. So I'm going to wait for you to attack, and then I'll fly in using that ability and go after the other shaman. I'll do it that way. I don't want to break your stealth.
So I'm going to recklessly attack the shaman in front of me as I enter a rage as a bonus action. I'm going to be like right behind them, so I'm going to be like and then like right behind them when they haven't heard me, I'm going to be like and like hit them with my great sword. 21.
Do that. 14.
21
Actually,
reckless attack. Attack.
21 reckless. Okay, you definitely hit them. You can make your damage roll.
14.
14 down damage. You turn this goblin into a mess. It is alive. It is crawling on the ground, but it is alive.
You're turning it into goblin goulash.
Gosh.
And now I imagine that everything's gone crazy.
All right.
Well, I don't know if we could still all attack as part of prize round, but that was a full action to do the spell earlier. So
this is your jump round. I will allow you to make a first round of attacks if you wish.
Oh, we wish.
You do.
I imagine you have higher dex than me, Mallory, so if you want to finish off the other one or...
Oh, okay. So I will, if you want me to go now, DM.
Yep.
Okay. I will cast Hunter's Mark on the other shaman.
Okay.
So I think I can. Yeah. There we go. And then I will take out my longbow.
Absolutely. Oh, deep. Oh, you're playing Critical Role music.
Nice.
Okay. That was a 13.
A 13 hits the armor class. It is the same as the armor class, so you
Okay.
definitely hit.
So that's the damage, and then plus my 100
1d6.
spark. Yes.
Max damage.
Nice.
That is
Nice.
15 overall.
13.
You
13.
13?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, you hit the shaman, and whatever he's casting, just like Kirak, it stops dead. He drops to the ground, and he's like, he doesn't know what hit him. He's like looking around to see whatever source just fired a shot at him, and he's frantic.
Okay. You want to go next, DM, or you want me to?
Sure. I was gonna cast another firebolt. So at let's say the one that was closer to Kirak, so that he could just go for the ogres right after. If I hit 8.
16 hits, and you don't even need to do damage. He has 1 HP.
Okay.
You hit him, and yeah, he gets that big black charred burn mark from the firebolt, and
Okay.
falls over backwards, and he is no longer doing anything,
Or ever will.
or ever will again. And that leaves
Okay.
Scanladon.
I will fly, get my wings to work and fly in and go after the shaman that Mallory shot at, since he's still alive.
Absolutely.
And I will attempt to hit him with my great sword. A 19, will that hit?
Yes, it does.
All right. So 9 slashing plus, because I have Radiant Soul going, he gets an additional 4 in radiant damage.
That was overkill with the radiant. Both the goblin shamans you took out in an instant. Before they could even look at you, they were gone. Like, whatever casting is going on, you actually see the black mist drop subtly to the ground, and whatever is surrounding this creature begins to absorb into it. And the creature slowly is floating down to the ground. And you still have 2 ogres, which are going to roll to...
Should we roll initiative at this point?
Yes, absolutely. Because I am also rolling initiative.
Ooh!
So 14 and a 19 minus... Okay. And we have 17, 3. Dan is 13. Kirak is also 17.
My dexterity is 16, so if you have 17, you go first.
Nope, I'm 16 as well.
Well
So
done.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I'm gonna say, just for the heck of it, you go first
Okay.
because you attacked first. So
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Older parchment shears.
Older parchment shears. Okay. Mallory or Kirak, whichever one of you, both rolling 17.
take it away.
Yeah.
Kirak will rush towards the first one, maintaining their rage, recklessly attacking the ogre. Rawr!
Absolutely, you can do that.
15. Does a 15 hit?
Absolutely, it does.
Only a 9 damage this time.
Yep. And that would bring it to Mallory.
Okay. I'm going to move my hunter's mark to the ogre that has just been attacked.
Yep.
And I'm going to attack with my longbow. Which is a 21.
Yeah, that hits.
For a total of 13.
Okay, and it is the ogre that has been getting the snot beat out of its turn. And it is going to turn to Kirak, and it has advantage on this attack. Roll d20 plus... This one has +6. Does a 13 hit your armor class?
No. Oh, but you have advantage.
I do have advantage,
Yeah,
you're right.
Reckless, so he does have advantage.
Does a 26 hit your armor class?
And nat 20 will hit me, yes, for double damage.
Ooh.
Do we do double dice or double damage?
You're the DM.
Double. Let's just do double dice. It might give you a lucky break here. Oh. This creature pulls up its great club and comes straight crashing down on you, and as you try and dodge it away, it catches your shoulder, and you feel the force come down full on this part of your body, and you withstand it. You don't go prone, but you sure feel the weight of that club hitting you.
But yeah, due to my rage, I will shrug off half of that damage.
Absolutely, you can do that. And now it is Deanne's turn.
Okie dokie. Does the creepy undead thing in the middle of the room seem to be
It is currently not
active
moving.
in any way?
No, it's not moving. It is just slowly floating down from its 10 foot. It's sitting in the air. It almost looks like it's frozen in whatever. Like, it's not moving. It's eerily so that it's frozen.
Okay. Well, I'll keep wailing on the ogre that we have been attacking. Let's go back there. We have the same old fireballs.
A 22 hits.
Okay, so 5 fire damage, and now it's on fire. So unless
Fire
it puts
is
itself out,
a d6 per round unless it takes an action to put itself out. Is that correct?
I believe so. Double check. I think so. It doesn't specify within the spell, but that's typically the damage.
I think that is the on fire specification, is a d6 per round. All right. Does it start the round that you put it on fire?
Oh,
Or-
hang on. I'm sorry. I misread it. So it is a flammable object hit by the spell ignites if it isn't
Okay.
being water carried. So I don't think it is actually on fire. That is a different spell.
Okay.
But it
is-
took the 5.
It did take the 5. Do you have anything else in this turn?
I would like to. Oh. Let's see. I have a bonus action left, so. I think I will grant inspiration to Kirak across the way. Now that we don't need to be quiet, I'll just be like, show me what you got, big guy. And move to kind of a spot that is not like nothing could make a beeline directly for me if possible. Like if there's pillars in the way or like a doorway, I could duck outside.
Yep. So, if that is your turn completed, the second ogre is going to make its strike. And this one, I believe, is closer to Scandalon. So I will be making an attack. Does a 9 hit your armor class?
Bounces right off.
Yep. It swings its club, and you put your arm up, and a little bit of holy light, and it blinds it slightly, and it swings up wildly and misses. And that is your turn.
All right. If I use Divine Smite, do I have to declare that before, or can I do that after I hit it?
Beauty of
Divine
smiting
Smite.
is you can do it when it hits.
Yep.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. All right.
I usually save all of mine for crits.
Since he came over to me, I don't have to fly over to it, so I have my claymore out, and it's time to go snicker snack.
Ooh.
24. I believe that'll probably hit.
It does.
All right. I definitely want to put some Divine Smite into this thing. I want to finish him off quickly. Let me get it on. So let me do my damage here first. So 11 slashing damage.
11 slashing.
Plus I can do... I will just go ahead and do a first level slot on this one, so an additional 2d8. For another 10 plus with my Radiant Soul, it's another 4 Radiant onto that.
Absolutely.
So total of 21, 25.
21, 25, yes. My subtraction is correct. All right, Mallory. It is back to the top of the round, and it is your turn. What's an AC? Never heard of her.
Sorry. Did Kira go?
No, yeah, but Mallory can go first. That's fine.
Okay.
Oh, Mallory or Kirak. Sorry, I just have you guys written because I wrote it down before you guys decided which was going first.
Okay. It doesn't really matter.
Not really.
So, okay.
Yeah,
You went first last time. Got my hunter's mark. Gonna go after the same ogre again.
Absolutely.
For 18.
Nice.
An 18 hits its armor class.
Great. For a total of 14, please.
A total of 14 with the hunter's mark? Absolutely. This ogre is not looking good already. And that would, if that's the end of your turn, Kirak is
going to recklessly carry on attacking with their greatsword. They're half tempted to change to their axe, but they're going to use their greatsword again. Reckless attack. 14, whichever way you cut it.
Yep, that hits.
For another 15 damage.
Nice.
It is really not looking good. But now that, if that's the end of your turn?
Yeah, I don't actually have any bonus actions yet as a totem spirit barbarian.
Okay. Then the ogre will turn to you, and with the blood on its arms and stuff from you slashing at it, and make its roll for its attack at you.
21 hits, but you have advantage.
Yes, I do.
21 hits.
I will take that 21. And it does... another... Oh, it rolled low.
Another
And
7.
half that, so 4, 3. Let's go 4. 4 damage.
Can I
Bludgeoning.
redact, because we just talked about it, but I already forgot. We get 6 temporary hit points each turn, right? So that will just
You
come,
all did?
right? Is that how?
Yeah, just us
Heroism?
two.
Just you two? She cast heroism on both of you?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
bring my temp HP down to 2.
Okay.
And can I add, I know it's super late, but can I add my bardic inspiration to the damage?
I'm gonna ask you to save it until next round,
No problem.
because it is so late.
No
It's a
problem.
few rounds.
All right. Just to clarify on the heroism, it's just 6 every time. It's not a cumulative thing, right? So not 6, and the next one I have 12 and stuff like that. It's just a flat 6 every time.
As far as it's written, it's just like +6 each turn. Assuming you're taking a bunch of damage, which you're not.
Which I haven't yet, but just trying to plan ahead.
So yeah, I think it adds up. Let me double check.
I don't think it stacks, but I just want to make sure so I don't jip myself out, but I don't want to take something that's not there.
I mean, it just says until it ends, you gain temporary hit points equal to spellcasting ability modifier.
At the start of each of its turns, yes. In addition, each time your modifier is a +6. Damn.
But I don't know how long it still has because it is only a minute spell. So that would be
10
So
rounds.
temporary hit points doesn't stack, right?
It does not stack.
Temporary hit
That's what I
points,
was trying to make sure.
You can only get temporary hit points from one source at a time, and it doesn't stack. So basically, every round that that you guys still have heroism cast on you, you gain temporary hit points equal to a maximum of 6. So if
That's what I
have to
thought.
yeah, you're right.
That's
That
what I
is-
thought. I just wanted to make sure I was understanding it correctly.
I so rarely use temp HP that
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you for
really
clarification.
unusual.
Yeah. I just for my own edification.
All right, Diane, it is your turn.
Well, let's keep doing what's been working. So let's do another fireball. And well, but I will save the reroll. I think y'all can take it.
Oh, firebolt. Sorry.
I'm assuming.
That does not hit.
Okay. Then
You fire off this cantrip, and it whizzes past the ogre's head and hits the wall behind with a thump. And the ogre gives you a dead stare because it was too close to its head.
I'll just give him a really cheeky salute and tuck back behind the doorway.
All right, ogre number 2's turn, and it will be swinging at Scandalon again. Am I getting it right? Yes, I am. Does a 12 hit your armor class? They have not been rolling very well.
Bounces off again.
Again,
I
he swings
deflect it with my claymore.
Absolutely, you can do that. And now you see this creature behind you, this skeletal creature draped in black and purple and tattered clothing. It holds its hand out, and some of the black mist seems to solidify in its hand. And you see a book. And this creature is going to cast Thunderwave.
Oh no.
Oof.
And it's going to catch Keurig, Scandalon, and one of the ogres. But, question again for roll 20, can I cast a spell without having to type it all in? Is that a thing I can do? Scrat, you roll 20 master.
If you've got an NPC sheet for the ogre with spellcasting enabled, yes, you should be able to just drag it in. If not, easier to just type it out, honestly. But we can proc it. If you go into the compendium, the I at the top, and type in the spell you want to do, you can proc it using the name of the spell, which would be what, Thunderwave in this case?
If I just find a creature with it?
I know if you just type Thunderwave, you can get a description of the spell
You
and
can look up the spell itself.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Category monsters. No, we want Thunder Wave. And where does it allow me to put it into the chat?
You can't, but I can do that for you.
Okay, thank you. I can also just do this. So this, just to clarify, is the Thunderwave spell. And it is casting it only at level 1. And I would like you to make a save for me, which is a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh. Can I do my reroll?
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
I'm going to do my reroll now. Ah! The dice have spoken.
Unfortunately for both of you, we did not pass. But neither did the ogre. So you're all taking 2d8 thunder damage. And I believe there's no additions onto that. So a 9 straight of thunder damage.
Hey, welcome Jack Life here. Madam says hi as the raid cry. I guess we know who we can thank for the recommendation. Welcome! Jack says hi as well. Welcome in, raiders. Here we are at the end. We're fighting 2 ogres and some spell-casting undead thing, which is pretty spooky. Welcome.
He's trying to be spooky.
I still take half damage from the thunder because Bear Spirit,
Yes, you're raging.
No, Bear Spirit, yeah. Totem Bear Spirit.
Yeah.
What damage?
So,
I'm still doing okay.
this creature floats a little ways back, gives a guttural snarl, and it ends its turn, leaving Scandalon. I always want to call you Scanlin for some reason.
All right, how far away is this creature from me?
If you used all your movement, you could get to it.
Okay, I'm going to... I want to fly close enough to it. I need to get within 30 feet so I can cast Turn the Unholy.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Has
Can
to
you
make
roll
a
at disadvantage?
wisdom saving. It's got to be the wisdom saving throw of 13.
Okay. So this is a straight roll. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is a 22.
Ooh!
So it succeeds its save, and you can see you cast this this spell on it, and you can see almost like white veins show up in it, and it gives another snarl, and suddenly the veins go from white and they blacken again, and it shrugs it off. And
It was
that
worth a shot. Let's
and that
see.
is Kirak
Do
or
I have
Mel.
it?
Oh,
Hang on,
continue.
let me see if I've got a bonus action that I want to do or not.
Yep, sorry.
No, I don't. Okay. It was worth a shot.
It was worth a shot. Kirak and Mallory, whichever one of you we decided to go first. You're
Yeah.
muted.
Yeah, we'll alternate. I'll go first this time. So in that in the craziness with all of that, did the ogres die? Are they down?
Nope. One of them is real hurt, and the other one is not doing too bad.
But this other thing's up as well, right?
It's just the ogres and that spectral, that being.
I'll let someone else deal with a spectral thing. I don't understand anything like that. So I'm gonna go and attack the ogre, which I've been attacking the whole time. Is that the one that looked weak?
Yes.
Great, that's convenient. I will bury my greatsword in it whilst crying, "I think you'll get my point!" Ah! 20.
You hit it. Ogres don't have that much AC.
15. 15 damage
With
with the rage.
Nice.
one heaving two-handed greatsword slice, you bury the blade a good few inches into its side, and when you pull it out, its eyes roll back, and it slumps to its side and falls dead.
As its eyes roll back, I'll be like, "You have been killed with mercy."
I love it. I love the reusing of lines. Just continually use that line forever.
I have no charisma. None. -1 charisma.
If that is the end of your turn,
It
Mallory,
is. It
you
is.
are up.
I might go and move close to the other one though, just in case it tries to move around or anything. You know,
Okay.
crowd control.
Okay. So I would like how far away am I from the spectral being? I'm still at the door.
If you're standing at the door, you're probably more than a round's worth of movement because
Okay.
it's backed off.
That's fine. I'm happy with that. I've got good range. So I'm gonna move my hunter's mark to spectral.
Yep.
Sir, and I'm gonna use my longbow again.
Okay. Oh yeah, you definitely hit it.
Okay. And we said double the dice. I'm just gonna do longbow twice.
Double dice.
Longbow
one.
rolls for you. It rolls for you. Does the double damage for you.
Oh, it does?
Yep.
Okay, so that's 12. Nice. So 15.
You double your hunter's mark as well, though.
Do I?
You do.
All right. 17.
Also dice. This thing is already looking hurt. Like it was not looking very good to start with, like because you stopped those shamans from doing anything. But it's now like snarling and almost like it's like moving its head quickly, like it's ripping it back and forth.
Just for flavor, can I say that I got my arrow straight through its arm that had cast Thunderwave? Just like right up it.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
you can totally do that. You hit the bones of its hand, and the bones actually, it's almost like the magic holding them together stops, and all the finger bones come off of the hand, and it just has the two bones of its forearm.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That brings DM. You are.
Alrighty. Am I within 60 feet of the ogre?
You are definitely within 60 feet.
Okay, cool. I would like to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Yep.
Yeah, just a regular first level. So I need a charisma save versus.
Oh yeah, no, they don't do good at that.
You never know.
I should put that it's rolling d20.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is a wisdom save. Still not great, but yeah.
Still not great for the ogre.
It just matched it. So it still saves, but it only takes half damage and does
Okay.
not have to move away. So, 6.
You see it hold its head, and the cacophony of whispers that is already flooding in this room starts to grow louder, and it starts shaking its head, and then
So
takes off.
6 or 7. Do you round up?
We'll go 7. We'll round up. That would be. Sorry,
That's-
math.
And I'm also going to grant inspiration to Scandalon. I'll just do a big ol' strum of this harp. Come here.
Thank you very much, Bite Me, who donates rerolls to both me and Scandalon. So everyone has rerolls again.
Yay.
Cool.
Oh, I also have rerolls. Why am I not using rerolls?
You have 2 rerolls, Zelda. You have
Because you're
2
a
of them.
kind, benevolent DM. That's
All right. It is the ogre's turn, and he is turning to the closest one, which has been Scandalon for the past few rounds. And he's going to make another attack with that great club that he has. Making sure I'm typing everything in all right. Does a 19 hit your armor class?
this time he hits.
This time he
add
hits.
inspiration. You can with me because I'm a Valor Bard.
So I can use the inspiration to lower that down?
Or
Let's do it.
it raises your AC.
Oh, raise my AC?
Can you raise AC with... I thought it was only saves and ability checks.
Because I'm a Valor Bard,
Okay.
it does the AC and you can add it to damage rolls.
Okay.
All right, so I roll a 1d6 to bump it up. All right, that bumps me up to 19. He still hits.
Oh.
Close.
Worth a shot.
Hey, it was worth a shot.
It was worth a shot. Now, he rolls. I will make character sheets for enemies next time. That is a for sure.
Afterwards, hang about for a minute. I'll show you a trick.
Yes, I will absolutely do that. A total of 9 bludgeoning damage comes your way as he wails this club down at you and into your side, making a small but sizable dent in your... oh wait, you're not wearing a plate, you're wearing chainmail.
I'm wearing chain.
If
He rattles the chain.
And you.
rattles the chain and you feel it. And that puts our lovely spectral friend on the deck. All right, it's going to float up to the nearest of you, which was you, Scandalon. Did you run up to it? Yes, you did, because you wanted to.
Yeah, I got closer so I could try to turn it.
Okay. It goes up to you, and it casts Ray of Frost, which, again, I have to look up the... This is the Ray of Frost. Okay, great. So, I just make a regular spell attack with that one, correct? Yes. So roll d20. And, oh, I doubt that's going to hit, but that is a 8. So,
Misses.
it hisses as its chilled fingers and the ice that forms on the bones of its other hand cracks and breaks off. As
I almost feel bad for it.
you will not after you figure out what it is.
Mhm. I don't
All
feel
right.
bad for it.
Scandalon, you...
All right. I'm going to fly to it, and I'm going to swing my great sword with all the radiant might that I've got to try to nail this thing.
Yep,
I can.
go ahead.
I may not have been able to turn it, but I can tell that I need to attack it in the name of all that is holy. So, 12.
That does not hit its AC.
Okay, I'm going to reroll.
Go ahead, I should have rerolled that last one.
Ah,
Or this chocolate, be kind. Again, you slash and you miss, and it somehow it's like you're cutting it, but the mist, it doesn't find purchase.
Okay. Urgh.
So, Mallory, because it is your turn to go first.
Okay. From my position in the doorway, can I see if Kirak or Scandalin looks like they're beaten up pretty well?
You can see Kirak. Scandalin is behind the ogre with the creature.
Okay, and he's likely out of 30 feet movement range for me, right?
You could, if you move 30 feet, and if it's a touch spell, you won't be able to make it. If it's
okay, yeah, that was my question.
Healing word, you would be able to.
No, that was my question. So instead, what I'd like to do is I'd like to move just a little bit into the room so that maybe next turn I could potentially get to him.
Yep.
Can I do that? Okay. And then
Yep.
I'll just keep my longsword out or longbow and go for Spooky Guy.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Nice, another crit.
You do
Okay.
not like that guy.
Crit.
I don't like him.
7
That's
plus 2
a total
plus
of
5.
14.
This creature that you still haven't put a name to,
Spooky Guy.
Spooky Guy, that is his name. He hisses, and right where your arrow hits, you see all of the black and purple mist that's covering this creature, and all the bones swirl around your arrow. And the book drops to the ground, flips open, and your arrow and the mist that is surrounding it fills this book. And the book closes. You have an ogre left to deal with. But for now, that creature is no longer in the fight.
Nicely done.
Kirak will
So,
gleefully rush
yeah.
the ogre now that the spectral form has fallen. And,
You should sing of my victory over you one day when you're dead.
he says as he attacks this ogre. With 25, I'm attacking recklessly.
Absolutely.
Just assume pretty much from now on, Kirak is just attacking recklessly all the time. So that'd be another 14.
Sorry, someone is guessing of what the spooky guy is. That is an 18 to hit. That definitely hits, and 14 damage. Yes, this thing is not looking good. It's getting there, end of its lifespan, and it's looking around, and it's looking at that exit like it's a feast for a million, and he's like hungry eyes at that doorway. All right, if that is the end,
Coward, run.
yeah, it's looking around the room right now like, yeah, maybe I should not be here. So, Diane, it is your turn, unless Kirak has anything left that he wants to do.
No, nothing left at all, but he's hoping for an opportunity attack.
Let's see. I'm gonna go for the firebolt again. It's been working pretty well.
Also, of note, the voices that you heard are dying down
Nice.
as well.
Good to know. That's a 19.
Very nice.
That does hit.
Nice.
Indeed does not damage.
It is really looking hurt.
Clinging to life.
Belts out a terribly, terribly loud roar.
Yikes.
Like, you feel like almost like the ground is shaking underneath of it. and it makes a dash for that doorway.
Opportunity
it's gonna
attack!
try and run away.
Opportunity attack!
Yep. Yep.
Get him,
sure.
get her.
Opportunity attack.
Reckless opportunity attack. 18.
18 hits it.
13 more damage.
It turns to run away out that door, and you lunge and make an overhead slash across its back. And it makes probably 3 more steps and face plants into the ground.
Yes.
And it is dead.
Walk after it and go,
You have been killed with mercy.
Oh my gosh.
We've
Effectively,
created a monster.
effectively, the fight is over. Combat has come to an end.
Well, like,
The first thing I'd like you to make a check for is perception.
Oh, I got a good one this time.
Okay. The first thing you notice is that this room has 2 doors on the back of it. So the door you came in was like the part of the circle, because it was a semicircular room. The wall farthest to you was flat, and that wall has 2 doors on it. The second thing you notice is that the people that are in that room that were having that black mist pulled out of them are making noises, but normal human, like they've just had black mist sucked out of them noises.
valid.
Dien, you especially, that roar was probably loud enough to catch something's attention.
Okay.
You don't hear anything yet coming from anywhere, as the voices have also died down, so you have that advantage of having the silence. But
Was there anywhere to hide in the room that we came from, the really big room?
I mean, you can hide behind pillars, but you also have this room to search, and there is the 2 doors that lead to the other room. Because this room is large, but it seems like there's the wall in the middle is dividing it.
Right. Okay.
I
well,
had immediately try to see if I can help free these people from their shackles on the wall.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna kind of stage whisper to folks like, okay, so something is probably coming. I would assume it's bad because we're here. Nobody touch this book. I'm going to try and look at the book, kind of suss out if it's dangerous to bring with us as like evidence.
Do
Or,
you
like-
want to inspect it, kind of?
I want to cast Identify on it again. Or
Absolutely.
cast Identify on it.
So, I don't know the exact specifications, but it is a condensed necrotic energy, and if you could put a word to it, it would be phylactery.
Great. Confirmed. Do I know if it would harm me or anyone else to touch it?
I wouldn't touch it directly, but if you could put it in a bag or something, just some kind of barrier of some
Does
sort.
anyone have mage hand to pick it up and put it in a bag that way?
I do actually have a chance.
I've got a hand.
I don't know if I wouldn't do it not this time. Actually, I do have a cloak, so I'm just going to like bundle it in the cloak.
Absolutely.
I left all my bags upstairs. I don't know.
So, actually, whoever is, are you trained in Arcana, Dan?
Yeah.
Would you make an Arcana check for me?
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, that's well more than I thought it would be. So you that I'm basically going to give you all the information that you need off this, but that was indeed a lich. But it was, as you've heard stories, not nearly as strong as it should have been. In the rebirth of a lich, which takes up to 10 days, it is in a weakened state where it is not nearly as strong as you would find it. And basically, you kind of prolonged its rebirth, or undead birth, whatever that. So people were being taken, and you can deduce that they were basically having their life force taken from them to try and rebirth this lich into the world. And you caught it early enough on that it was not strong enough and hadn't taken in enough resources to
Yes.
Can
fully revive.
you burn the book to stop it from coming back again?
I believe phylacteries need to be destroyed with high-level magics.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Cartholden is both a military and heavily religious city.
I could try and smash
I'm
it.
sure we.
Like I can't.
This is not a time for smash.
People up there can. So plus this will make excellent oh god, what's the word I'm looking for?
Tinder?
Evidence.
Essentially, evidence. I don't know what the word is, but
Bait.
it's gonna raise our price.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make us more famous.
Yes.
That too.
Yeah, if we don't destroy this book, Kirak, you will get even more fame than you could ever imagine.
I've heard of that. You're talking about Lee's average.
Exactly.
Yeah, Lee's average to get more money.
Exactly. And the higher the average, the more money you get.
Yeah. I don't know who Lee is.
Okay, let's get out of here before something bad comes.
Yeah. Okay, how securely are these people chained to the walls?
Not very. They're already probably in a weakened state, so breaking out of basic manacles was too tough for them. But for someone healthy and hardy and has eaten in the last 24 hours, probably could break those manacles.
Okay, I get everybody free.
I'd like to follow behind Scandalon and just use my healer's kit and kind of patch them up as best I can.
Yep, you can do that. They're conscious. They're not doing all great, but they're conscious and they can walk. And the back room that you walk through, there's 2 more people. They're chained, and I'm assuming you'll unchain them, which I will allow without any fuss.
And each person I will lay on hands and give them 1 extra hit point just to make sure that they're healthy enough to travel.
Okay, that's fair.
Each single
Yeah, if
one.
anyone is in a rough state, I have cure wounds.
Every single one is what I'll be like. Are you the farmer's son? Are you the farmer's son? Are you the farmer's son? Are you the farmer's son?
I imagine many of them are sons of farmers.
Anyone that says yes, I'll be like, are you in on it?
I think we've taken care of everybody, the people who were in on it, Kirak.
All right. The room on the other side of the semicircular, the room that you walked through to go to, and you found the other 2. There's a door and a hall that is steeply raised, like upwards. So you'd be like taking stairs to the top of wherever you're going. It is just a pretty long staircase, and I'm sure with you four's help you can get these prisoners out, and you find a second door. And as soon as you walk out, if you look back, it looks like a cliff face. There is no door when you look back.
Fancy.
Yay, we destroyed it.
How high up are we? Can we
Not
jump
very,
from here?
actually, because you no, you're at like the bottom of the cliff face. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
a flat shale.
We're not like
No, no,
farther
no,
We're
way
on
up.
top of the mountain, friends.
No, you went far enough down that this climb up is basically just getting you back to ground level.
Are we close to where we left that little goblin?
No, you are on the opposite side of the mountain.
Oh no!
You came in, so you didn't come in straight from you went basically from the areas where there was farmers. You went up to the mountain, crossed through this way, so you can just come back down to the farms. And you have secured all 6 prisoners plus Henry. And hopefully she made it back. You might
Yeah.
see her. And I'm going to say you made it back to at least the guild house perfectly safe with all of your people.
In the
And
middle of the night.
in the at least the early hours of the morning.
Yeah.
Let the prisoners rest in a little bit before taking them back into town. They would probably be exhausted already, just the trip to the guild
Sleep.
house.
Yeah.
They must be nocturnal too.
I don't want to be.
They were made completely nocturnal by them, but now we will make them turnal again, thanks to your help, and you will be so famous for that.
Yes. It's a girl. Kirak bursts. Back at the clan, she said, once I make barbarian Kirak famous across all the lands, I'll win her hand.
Aw,
That's cute.
That's sweet.
That's
Well, I
really
would say you are very close to winning her hand, good sir. And I put out my hand to shake it.
Anyone with a little bit of
Alright.
insight might realize that was definitely a put off.
You make it back to the guild house and report to Validia. She bids you a well-to-do and gives you your allotted amount, and you are definitely the talk of both the guild house, and word is spreading into the city already of the deeds of which you've completed a quest that had to do with defeating a slightly underpowered but also reborn lich that could have been a huge problem.
Yay!
Yay.
All right. Woo.
Thank you so
team.
much, Zelda.
Absolutely.
Very well done.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Well, let's do what we always do. Let's go round, talk about what our favourite part was, who we are, where we can find each other online, and all that wonderful stuff. We'll go the opposite way around, so we will start with Kentucky Hawkeye.
All right. Well, my favorite part, even though I didn't get to smite the lich like I wanted to, and I got divine smite in the ogre, I'd have to say my favorite part was making sure that Henry had what she needed to get back safely. I had to say that's probably my favorite part, because since I knew we couldn't escort her up, I had to make sure that she had a fighting chance to get free. And being able to have the stuff to be able to help her get there, I'd say that was probably my favorite part. I can be found Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram with the same name I have on here, KY Hawkeye, short for Kentucky Hawkeye. On Tuesday nights, 6 p.m., I do my Lego stream. Currently, we are doing the Lego DC Supervillains, which is showing to be quite a fun game. On Wednesdays, Wednesday 6 p.m. Eastern U.S., I have my Skyrim through. We're almost at the end of the adventures of Eric Rosine, a character that's more Nord than the Nords. And then on Thursdays at 6 p.m., I have my new stream, which is Critical Holds. Imagine if you're a fan of Critical Role like I am, that's their D&D stream and all that. I have taken 69 of their characters, including all the main characters and a number of NPCs, and I've converted them into the WWE 2K19 format. And so imagine all your your favorite matchups of who would you like to see fighting against each other. Who's better, Vex or Vax? I can put them in the ring. If you want to see who's stronger, Grog or Yasha, I can put them in the ring against each other and have all sorts of fun with stuff like that. Otherwise, during the day, I'm a Cancer Cleric for real, and other times I will just be the fanboy hanging around in all the other RPG places looking for hopefully getting into a campaign of my own here, getting into a campaign somewhere someday soon.
You're muted, Scrat.
You're muted, Scrat.
You're muted.
Yeah, of course I am. That's just how I roll. Like, it was a fill in the blanks moment. Of course you'll get in a campaign somewhere soon because today the roleplay was amazing. So thank you so much for that. Thank you. Next around we come to Julie at J Graveart.
Hello, I'm Julie. I go at JGraveArt just about everywhere on social media. I do art and yell about D&D and other RPGs. I'm here on Wednesday nights for Dynama at 10 p.m., which is a lovely game, and I highly suggest you all watch it. Playing the Weave system, which is very exciting. Let's see. What else do I do? The art stuff, I guess I do. I make data look pretty during the day, and sometimes I share those really like silly requests that I get sometimes from these business consultants, and I'm just like, I'm glad that you came to me. And yeah, I think favorite moments. Gosh, there were. I just liked, someone said it in chat where this was just like a very good, like classic D&D game. So that made for a very good, like well-rounded one-shot. We had some social, we had like a honestly pretty well-balanced encounter. So congrats on this wonderful first DM experience. I'm glad we got to enjoy it with you.
I am glad everyone got to join me as well. So
Definitely the start of a journey. It's a great start, and I can't wait to see your next steps.
I'll have you know that whatever, like 2 months ago when you proposed this to me, before that I was like, it's never going to happen. I'm going to be a player.
Yeah, we like to gently encourage here. I'm often gently encouraging people. Next around, Banishka. Oh, hi.
Hi, I'm Banishka. I'm pretty much only on Twitter, where I like to tweet about tabletop RPGs, particularly D&D. I don't play any regular streamed games, but I have a couple games live. I like to play one-shots on Scratticus. I can't pick one moment because this was such a fun game, but I want to say that I just really appreciated all of Zelda's descriptions. I could quite clearly see every single scene, every creature, every NPC. So I know that definitely sometimes takes a lot of work and something you need to be really conscious about, but I just wanted to say I was very impressed. I thought that was really great. Also, quick apology that I was up and down so much from the chair. My bunny was being really bad and loud, so had to take care of her.
Absolutely no need to apologize. We have a take a break whenever you need to policy on this stream, and I'm glad you felt comfortable doing it. Thank you again. Also, everyone was amazing today. But not least of all, Zelda herself. Zelda, fantastic one-shot. Thank you so much.
So that comment that it was like a classic D&D game, I was reading through my notes and I'm like, this is just D&D. This is just absolutely like, I'm not trying to throw any fancy, weird things at you that are it's just regular old take it back D&D. And I mean, my voice is starting, it's not starting to go, but my throat is starting. I didn't drink any water. I had like half a thing of this tea, and I was like so worried about having to get up and go to the washroom that I was like, no liquid.
We also have a strong policy of keeping yourself hydrated here, Zelda. Bad Zelda.
Don't worry.
Gotta have the diet water ready.
A liter of water after this is done.
Good. Please keep yourself hydrated.
I'm so happy everyone enjoyed it, and of course, if you have any like positive feedback that you can give me, I will take anything in. And I loved all of your characters and everything that went on, and it was really, really fun just to kind of give you all that story. And that was part of what I wanted to do, was give you those descriptions and give you something that you could picture and that you could see. So, hi, I'm Zelda. I am at Zelayanami. I stream on my channel mostly just video games at Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and probably tomorrow on Sunday, just because I've missed so many days in the past that I was having some trouble and some family stuff. So I might stream tomorrow. So if you want to come by or drop a follow on mine, then you can see whenever I stream. No obligations required, just if you want to come chat. Again, I'm on Twitter at same handle, probably right above my head. And if I am playing or DMing or anything, it will be posted there. So thank you for coming and playing with me.
Thank you so much. For me, my favorite moment was actually the magic shop. The magic shop, which I felt my character might have overlooked and not gone in, so I was desperately like, we need to go in this shop. There's got to be something. Like, the sign, yeah, the sign. I'm going to say the sign to the whole group. We're going to go in here, right? Yeah, good, yeah. And I did not regret. That was absolutely bonkers, and I loved it. Not only marginally more than everything else. I loved all of it. It was all fantastic, so thank you. This is my channel, everyone. If you liked it, I would ask you to please go and check out this wall of text that I'm about to get my bot to post into the chat. It's got all of our social links in there where you can find us socially, all of our ways you can support us if you want to throw some support our way, all of our sponsor information, discount codes, all of that good stuff. We're going to thank Mage Hand Press and Bird in the Storm Productions, who are our publishing, who are our sponsors and make this all possible. Thank you so much to them. We are going to go and pay a raid to a group called Forsetti D&D. We've raided them once before, and they were really receptive to that. They seem like a nice group, so let's go and throw some support their way at 2 a.m., nearly 3 a.m. EST. Let's do that. Thank you very much, everyone. This has been a real pleasure. We will be back. You know, I'm going to say we'll be back on Monday, but I'm suddenly really tempted to make some YouTube videos tomorrow. I have to see how Alice is doing, because I need to spend some time with her this weekend at some point. I've just spent, like, you know, today doing this. Probably spend some time with Alice. Yeah, so keep on evoking emotions, everyone. We'll see you next time, whenever that is. Bye! No, don't.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Whoops. Ignore that sound. See you.
Okay, are we out?